Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, from whichever part of the world you're logging in from. So, we've just finished with the result and announcement of the 8th International Young Chef Olympiad, and we've already identified the top 10 who have gone into the grand finals and the next 10 who have gone into the plate trophy. So now we are ready with the International Diamond Research Award presentations. And I would like to invite in over here my colleague and panel member, Ms. Sanchari Chaudhary, who along with Ms. Rupa Datta and Dr. Kavita would be taking it on from here. So Ms. Sanchari Chaudhary, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khurana. First of all, a very, very warm welcome to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every country, everyone who's in fact logged in here. Many congratulations to all the grand finale top 10 finalists and definitely the plate trophy finalists as well. A lot of excitement that we have in fact seen for the last 2 days. And today happens to be the day when, of course, the results have been announced. We are all extremely excited, super proud of all of you. And as we go ahead and start getting ready for tomorrow, today is a day when we have dedicated completely into different other particular things, namely out of which the very important part has to be the research awards. This is a very first year in the 8th edition of the YCO 2022 when we have gone ahead and introduced the Diamond Research Awards. As we all know, IIHM and all allied to IIHM has been extremely close to sustainability. And we have been working very, very closely with the UNWTO to go ahead and basically embrace the sustainable development goals. This research is a very, very impeccable piece of work, which in fact all the countries have put together. And we are extremely happy to receive a lot of research work from all the countries which are participating today. I would like to wish everybody all the very best for the presentations today. And of course, I would like to go ahead and invite my panel members, starting with Rupa ma'am, who's just next to me here. Ma'am, very, very good afternoon. And Rupa ma'am happens to be the Deputy Director of Academics for the IIHM Group and also the program leader. She's a lead in the research, Diamond Research Awards here. And together with her, I would also like to welcome very, very fondly my endearing Dr. Kavita Reddy. Ma'am, a very warm welcome to you here. She happens to be the director of Shreya Nutrition, and also she is a very, very, you can say, passionate nutritionist who basically goes ahead and advises very, very well to a lot of people around the world. So we're extremely happy to have you all here. And now I would like to invite in Ms. Rupa Datta, who will be going ahead and giving you a little bit of more information on the Research Awards, the Diamond Research Awards. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sanchari, and a very warm welcome to everyone who has joined us this afternoon here for the YCO research for the International Diamond Research Award. And the International Research Award has been instituted by the IIHM Global Center for Hospitality and Tourism Research, and it's a new initiative which has actually been brought in to this particular part of the competition. It's to help develop research skills among hospitality and tourism students and also the mentors who would like to take research to another level. So wherever it is in hospitality and tourism, they feel that they would like to do some in-depth research, in-depth analysis, and develop more skills in their research fields. This is the ideal opportunity for them. So we've invited those universities and institutes who have been participating, and also those who have not been participating in the YCO itself, the culinary part of the competition. But we've had so many research papers which have been submitted. So this afternoon, we have a very busy afternoon. As my colleague Sanchari said, we have received a number of research articles, and we have been scheduling these articles for the rest of the afternoon. So we have 13 countries who will be participating, and they all have very interesting goals which have been developed based on the United Nations Sustainability development goals. So without further ado, I think we need to get started because everybody is waiting. We thank you all for joining us this afternoon, and best wishes to all the participants for this International Diamond Research Award, which is associated with very attractive certificates and prizes, and the opportunity to actually publish internationally once the paper has been finalized. So thank you to all, and best wishes to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rupa ma'am. And now we would like to go ahead and start with the presentation ceremony. As Ms. Rupa Datta has already mentioned to you, there would be 13 countries who have in fact submitted the research papers. And as per the time slots which has been given to them and confirmed by them, they would be coming and presenting their work. Every work is going to be for about 10 minutes presentation timing, post which we would be having the next country coming in as well. So the first country that we would be going ahead and starting the research presentation would be the country of Bangladesh. Many congratulations to Ms. Jahida Begum, who happens to be the mentor, and definitely to the students who would be today participating in the research presentation. So if we could actually have them here and spotlight them so that they can start the presentation ceremony. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. How are you doing, ma'am?
Oh, fine. Thank you so much, Sanjay. How are you?
Doing very well. Namaskar and all the very best. We are all here and we are really waiting, eagerly waiting, in fact, to see the presentation of the wonderful research work that you have submitted already. Wishing the students all the very best, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Miss. I thought they will do it nicely. I have seen their presentation. That was nice. So hope for the best for my students.
Absolutely, ma'am. So the time starts now.
Yeah, only they will get only 10 minutes.
Exactly, ma'am. They will be getting
only 10
minutes.
They will ask the question or something like that. So altogether it's like that.
No, if they would like to let us know about what has been done, how it has been done, their objectives, the methodology they have used, that is what is required.
Okay. So let's start with it. Okay, thank you.
Good evening. The three of us are here to present our research paper on street food habits in Dhaka city. I'm Sumaya.
I'm Sayyid Anwarul Rayyan.
I'm Muhammad Habibullah.
We all have done our culinary course in NHTTI, and I feel very overwhelmed to be a part of this research award program. Thank you to our Zahida madam and the opportunity to give us the YCS committee. The reason behind choosing this topic is to create awareness to the people of our nation. Our topic is street food habits in Dhaka city. The people in our country, especially the people of our country always choose street foods, but the street sellers are not awareness of hygiene and some cleanliness. As our young generation choose to eat street foods, that's why we have decided to create awareness among them. Bangladesh is a really small country with a very large amount of population. Street foods are becoming more appealing to the food lovers in Dhaka. Due to the rise in income and the city dealers, they come out their congested houses to the park streets on the vacations and eat street foods. Sometimes this is the fashion of the young people. A large number of entrepreneurs are developed in this sector to meet this growing demand. Among the different sector, jobs and the rickshaw pulling, street food is second largest employment in the urban area like Dhaka city, who are mainly from the rural areas of Bangladesh. Here you can see some locations where we have researched our project. In front of Raju College, in front of house building, in front of Uttara Adhunik Medical College, we have researched some street food. Here you can see some street food, which is grilled with roti. Here you can see some fuchka. Here you can see our traditional mango bar. Here you can see some chola boot. Street foods are consumed in many areas, often sold by street vendors and peddlers. Street food are usually ready-to-eat food or drink sold in a street or other place area. Here you can see a vendor is selling chola boot. Here you can see a peddler is selling his achar. Here is a chola boot too. Street foods are very much popular in the developing countries today. As a developing country, a lot of street food are found in the street and open places in Bangladesh, especially in our Dhaka city. Street foods are very much popular in Bangladeshi people living in the urban areas due to its cheap price and sharp taste. Among them, various types of pitha, badam, chola boot are also popular in our country. Here you can see some pickles, which is mostly favored by the little girls of schools and colleges from fruits. Here is our traditional food, which is pitha. The street seller use this from rice and some sugar to make these pithas. It is our traditional food sell in the street food. Now my friend Ryan will describe the rest. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ryan. I want to discuss something with Sumaya. Why we have done this work. We have done this work when I went outside. Then we saw some school children, students, and university students are doing this food. As a culinary student, I am interested to this work because the vendors don't maintain any hygiene. They always sell the food uncovered, and they don't use any hygienic matter. That's why I have decided to do this research. So from the beginning, my research, I thought I need some students from school, college, and universities. And I got 45 items, 45 items in the areas at Uttara, and we marked them from 5-point scale. The scale was like that: poor, average, good, excellent. The vendors who maintain proper hygiene, we mark them excellent, and the vendors who maintain less hygiene, then we mark them good. And the vendors who doesn't maintain any hygiene, then we mark them poor. So our research method like this, we took two methods. One is primary method and second is secondary method. Primary method is we asked some questions to the vendors and the food seller, and student universities and the customers. And the second is we collected some data from research paper and some other institution. There is, as you can see, some questions here, and how much cost they do, and what kinds of ingredients they use. And this is the questions from a vendor who is a chicken vendor, who sell only chicken. That's why we have decided to do this, and how much money they use, and how many customers come here, and how many time they spend for the selling this food. And this is the seller, and another side is customer question, and what types of customer come here, and how many money they spend here, and what types of classes people come here to take this food. There are 10 questions here. And the next is, you can see this picture, the people who is using dust towel and the uncovered food. You are seeing this. They don't use pure water. They don't use proper towel. They have lots of problem. We found this, and obviously they should maintain their hygiene. And as you see, they don't use apron, and they don't have gloves. And the most important part is the sherbet. When they make sherbet, this is extremely unhealthy due to the raw materials. And if you eat this food, you will suffer, obviously you will suffer some disease like hepatitis B. Some hepatitis B is extremely dangerous, and maximum people suffer from dysentery problem. And obviously you will suffer, if you eat this food, you will suffer some chronic disease like kidney disease, liver disease, and other various kinds of disease. You will suffer from this food if you eat this food. So there are some precaution and measurement and awareness, and we have written some criteria. First, some awareness programs should be done among school, college, and university and state people. And government should take awareness to the vendors, and government can start the training session to the vendor. And what can they do? The government can create the license system. What kinds of license they will provide, and if they don't maintain the hygiene, and government can seize their license, and government can do washing their hand. They must the training session. They must the cooking areas and personal hygiene maintain proper training, and some rules and regulation. And what have we done from our research? And we have done our research something like all street food eater are same thinker. Okay, they like to taste food and enjoy the time, maximum time. University student, school, college student, they come here with friends and they take the food, and sometimes they're hungry, and when they need this, they come here to take this food. And another some young generation and rickshaw puller, labor, pedestrian, they always take this food. And the most important part is 75% disease occur from food and water. We have found these sources from Daily Star. This is our famous newspaper. And the most important thing is ultimately the if we're lacking this hygiene, resulting in the huge subsidy in the health sector, which should be prevented by ensuring food safety.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's all for our presentation.
Thank you. If you have any question, you can ask.
Thank you very much, Team Bangladesh, for your presentation. Very interesting topic, and something that we all understand. I have one question. You mentioned that there were 45 variables which were identified, and your questionnaire has 10 questions. Can you just tell us about the other variables which you had identified in that 45?
45 means 45 items. There are the 45 items are 45 like that, like chocolate, like jhalmuri. This is our traditional food.
Okay.
Like pita. This taste has variety, various types of taste.
So you're talking about the items of food that you had identified for the street food. 45 different street foods you had identified.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 45 different food. We found this in our area.
All right.
45 items. And there are 10 questions we have asked them. Please, ma'am.
How many of these vendors do you think came into that excellent group in hygiene practice?
Excellent group, ma'am. Due to COVID situation, we didn't get any excellent group vendors, to be honest. But after COVID situation, we discussed 20 to 30 vendors. We discussed with them, and among them we got more than 15 vendors. They are maintaining hygiene. More than 15 vendors.
They are conscious now.
They are conscious now. They are becoming conscious, and they will touch excellent.
Thank you so much, students. I think it was a very, very good presentation, and we in fact are having quite a bit of questions. We are also extremely happy and fortunate to have amongst us Professor David Foskett, who is of course the chairman of the jury of panel of judges here. Professor Foskett, a very warm welcome to you, if you're here, sir. I trust he would be busy at the moment, but then definitely he would also be listening to all of you. I would like to congratulate your entire team from Bangladesh, for making this work so well. It's a beautiful presentation, and thank you so much for the hard work.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
All the
All
very
the-
best.
Thank you so much. We will be getting back to you with written feedback as soon as possible.
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you, Bangladesh. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that you're taking a lot of information from the presentations that all the students and the teams from different countries have put together. We are now heading towards the next presentation, and this is going to be by Team Nepal. So from Team Nepal, we have the presenter name, Chef Mayank Garg, who would be presenting the research work today. A very warm welcome to you, Chef. And also, of course, we might be having the mentor, Mr. Krishna Ram Mahajan, who might be here. So all the very best and many congratulations. All right. So I trust we are not able to hear you still. If you can check your audio.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you
Yes.
now.
Akhil, your time starts now, Chef. All the very best.
All right, thank you. So, huge welcome to all of you from the land of mountains, Nepal. We're the base, and me, Chef Mayank, would like to welcome you here. The thing is that our research topic is overall quality education. Why we chose this topic? Because I'll be presenting it along with one of my buddy, Saika Das, and next IIHM apply. Okay, so I believe you are able to see the screen. Is it visible? Hello?
A little distant, we cannot,
See, yeah, we are not able to see the
we're
screen
not able
well.
to see the screen very well.
Okay, now you're able to see the screen?
Yes,
And, I
thank
see
you.
the screen of it.
Yes,
That's
yes,
right.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So we have chosen our topic as research topic as just a moment. I'm not able to change. All right. As why we have chosen this topic, because it's all about education. As the famous naturalist once said, survival of the fittest, and gave us the theory of evolution by Mr. Charles Darwin. We as educators, the trainers, need to understand what is the meaning of the word quality education. It's not only about just giving them the information what is there in the book and making them limited. Because today's world is about limitlessness. The information is at our palm's hand. We need to understand that when we are providing all this information to the students, we are just making them memorize certain things. As the time is changing, the generation gap has become huge. It's totally unparalleled. Students are stuck with the phones. Our people say that people who are like 30, 40 and above, they say that actually internet is a curse, but me at the same rate says that it's actually a boon, a vardhan, because the information has made the world come smaller. We need not to treat the students as future employees or employers. First, we have to make them understand how to be the self-leader. The paper that I've written is all about it. How to improve young minds by involving innovative educational methods. Now, the thing is, we cannot do this in a single day. It's a slow and steady process, just like what we see in YCO. That took 8 years, but we have seen ourselves here. Dr. Shubhrato himself was praising technology and how it has brought all of us together. The same thing we need in our industry as well. Because education is everybody's need, education is everybody's right actually. So we need overall in our system where it's not only about books, it's about research, it's about finding new things. More than study, it has to be self-study. The things are like, we need to understand that when we are talking about all these things, we have to make our students understand that it's not only about book, Okay, the thing is outside the books. The whole world is all about it. The points that where we can help them. Okay, because in the future, their success is their success. Because as per us, there are always winners and there's always learners. There's nothing called as losers. The few points that we have written here are research points, which I would like my dear friend Saket to come and speak about. Saket, please come up with it.
Thank you, Shopman, for giving me this opportunity to share the research project with this esteemed platform. So, about our research, we have came up with some of the points which I want to discuss in this research. The first is to provide the basic education to the junior high school students. So, basically, when we are having the students of this junior high students, there we need to integrate some of the qualities in the students. So first we talk about the integrity. Now whenever a student explains what they have to be contributed to the work, they need to deserve to share their final views or the final grades. Then the communication, when we talk about the communication, they must be able to present themselves in the public. So public speaking skills are very important when we are integrating some of the communication skills to the junior high school students. Then talking about the group discussions, communication skills of individual communication skills is also some of the skills which we need to integrate in the junior high school students. Then courtesy is very important. Nowadays you will find that the students are not that much of courteous, they are not respecting the elders. So they need to learn how to be courteous and how to treat the other people. So we need to integrate this soft skill also when we are educating our junior high school students. Then we need to make them responsible. Responsibility, the sense of responsibility is very lacking in the current generation, the generation which we are coming from. So this, if we make them more responsible.
Team Nepal, we are having a problem hearing you actually. The sound is very low and soft.
Okay, you're able to hear me better?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are just waiting for Team Nepal to just have a check, a quick audio check.
Okay, are you able to hear me?
In the meantime, we would be having the next country in next couple of minutes, and that happens to be the host country, India. And I presume they're all ready, all set, wishing them all the very best.
Good afternoon, everyone present out over here. We are Team India, and today we will...
Team India, thank you so much, but then we are still in the middle of the presentation. You would have to wait for some time.
You can ask them to come back after some
Yes,
time.
Chef Mank, in case if you're, finding any issue with the audio, we can definitely, wait for another slot on the same day today. You can maybe come back after some time. Will that be okay? Right? Okay. Yes, thank you so much. You can just let your SPOC know, your country SPOC know, and we'll get the information. Thank you very much, Chef. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we are having Team India, the host country, presenting, and we are extremely happy to announce that Team India has been represented by two of the students, Uzair Ahmed and Saket Siri. All the very best, guys. We're looking forward.
So much, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone present out over here. My name is Uzair Ahmed, and I'm today accompanied by my friend Saket Siri, and today we'll be speaking about YCO. As we all know, the International Diamond Award YCO 2022 research by Team IHM and all the campuses out, which is led by both of us. Now let us understand what are the objectives of this. The objectives are basically to create awareness regarding a social development goal. There are 17 goals altogether, and today we will be focusing about goal number 2, that is zero hunger, and also to identify methods to move towards zero hunger. Yes, my dear friends, we are all moving ahead towards zero hunger by this goal number 2, and also to build sustainable system and environment through which we can use seasonable food and reduce wastage of it. And also to enhance and create a systematic and a structured pathway to replicate and educate as many people as possible to provide them with nutritional food and provide food to the less privileged population of our country, as also to identify different methods of how an individual and other institution can look forward to this method. Now let us understand what is Sustainable Development Goal. As in the year 2015, the United Nations General Assembly set up Sustainable Development Goal, a total of 17 goals. And as we all know, they are planning to achieve it by 2030. The Sustainable Development Goal number 2 that we are focusing on aims to achieve zero hunger, which means to eliminate hunger within all human beings to achieve a proper and a nutrition diet towards themselves. Now, before we move ahead any further, as we are talking about zero hunger, now let us understand what is hunger all about. Hunger strongly determines the interconnected with poverty, an area of social and political social factors where people of poverty didn't receive that ample of nutritional food or unclean water, and it's also been acquired to sanitization, hygiene, and other access to other services. But the most important thing for our country like India is the abundance of food. As we all know, we grow each and every food with abundantly, but here we lack. Lots of food and grains are being wasted due to a variety of reasons because we lack in infrastructure. We have economical disparity. Due to this, the large sectors are getting food and the smaller sectors are not receiving that adequate amount of food. The other part of the population has nothing to eat. This is a big problem when it comes to in terms of distribution. Now let us understand, as we are talking about zero hunger, where India stands. As is stated by Global Hunger Index, India has been worsening its standard from the last 10 years. India has been degrading day by day, and it's been going on from the last 10 years. The country which prospered in every sector is been going down when it comes to food and hunger. The country rank has become quite poor since 2016. And according to Global Index rank, India stands 101 out of 116 countries in its 2021 report. Now, I will let my friend Saket to continue further. As you've seen in the previous slides,
I would like to interrupt a little bit, Saket. You would have to do a slideshow. I trust your screen sharing is not happening well. So, not a problem. So if you can actually put it on a slideshow, please, and then screen share, that will help us see what's happening.
I hope it's visible now, ma'am.
If you can just put it on slideshow so that the screen can move with every presentation.
Right, ma'am.
Press F5.
Right now, ma'am.
Okay, you can continue.
Now, as we have seen in the previous slides, that we have abundance of food and food grains in India, but there is a lot of wastage in India due to various reasons. due to which one of the parts of the population is excess, but the other part of the population is nothing, due to the problems of food distribution. This is where the food soldier concept comes in to manage the food distribution. All efforts are not for profit. Broadly, food soldiers are IIHM students as it has started, and they made methods, system, practices, community services, protocols, adaptations of hungry families and distributing food grains to the poor population with the help of charitable organizations, corporates on a regular and rigorous schedule. Now talking about how the food soldier programs work. IIHM campuses have been working with a variety of multi-year operations. The food soldiers promote zero hunger campaigns by distributing foods in the orphanages, slum areas, old age homes, and also care homes run by NGOs. The above activities have been working to create in corporate offices, which have continued to work with the support and planning of their own CSR activities.
Okay, Saket, I'm sorry, I have to again interrupt. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to interrupt. I trust you're having some kind of complications technically because we are not able to see your slides moving. So instead, maybe you can present your work by talking about it because you don't have much time. You exactly have 5 minutes to go.
Right.
Right?
Can you share the screen so the slides will change?
And while you're presenting, maybe only the presenter can be on screen, please. Please continue your work. Yes, please continue speaking.
Team India, you're going to run out of time. Please continue.
Often when individuals or groups who want to participate in these activities but don't have the facilities to cook the food, IIHM campuses have opened their own student kitchens and students have worked in tandem with others by cooking and distributing the food. Presentations are given to school students so they may understand and replicate the same activities. This not only creates awareness among schools, but also students take this knowledge back into their homes and local areas and can pursue these activities with or without the help from IIHM students, thus illustrating the impact and momentum of these activities. Now to conclude, IIHM campuses have been working with a variety of multi-year food soldier activities to promote zero hunger campaigns by distributing food in the orphanages, slum areas, old age homes, also care homes run by NGOs as a vital part of their curriculum. During the course of time, it evolves around the awareness and how food soldier is a necessary step to be included as a mandatory extracurricular or social awareness activity. The food soldier is not just an activity, but an attitude towards a sustainable improvement for the near future. It is learning to be responsible, helpful, and sensitive to the underprivileged and the poor, along with understanding and empathy for humanity. The overall impact of the food soldier movement creates communication practices, replication, sensitization of many strata of society who are able to uplift the underprivileged and fulfill their hunger needs. Through a huge movement in this country, and hopefully others who may replicate the same models. The food soldier efforts are on to create willing families and individuals who in turn adopt financially weak families to fulfill their hunger needs. This is again a repetitive process. It started from one campus by IHM and then it was replicated in all the other campuses of IHM, involving approximately 5,000 students. Each of these campuses, as well as their own food soldier activities, initiated awareness through school presentations, organization, NGOs of the models of the food soldier activities. This has been one of our pictures that we have collected from our activities. Thank you.
All right, we can open for questions. Kavita ma'am, anything from your end? Would you like to go ahead and ask?
Very nice presentation, even though there was a technical glitch. I can see how much work has been done. I just have one question. Did you face any challenges, any problems while doing this project? Anything?
Yes, ma'am, we face some cultural challenges regarding preparing this.
Could you repeat the answer?
Ma'am, we were facing some cultural challenges while preparing this, like while we are just at the initial stage we were doing it, people were not accepting like how we are coming up with the idea and how we can commemorate, because see, this is a very big plan and slowly and gradually it will take place. So that is the main motive of us, slowly and gradually we grow.
Yeah, that's very important, because when generally we distribute food, the question, why are they distributing? What is the motive is always there. So how we communicate solves the problem. Thank you. And all the best.
All right.
Can you say that, you said that the activities have been continuing for some time. What is the reaction now when you talk about Food Soldier to others, the activities? What is the reaction now? Initially, you said that people were a little skeptical. Has that attitude changed?
Yes, ma'am. Now they're accepting it because it's been going on from the last 2 years. So slowly, people are accepting and people are more engrossing into it, that yes, there is something going on and we should, not only individuals, some business firms, some NGOs are all coming up with an idea to collaborate with us and work with us. As you know, IHM people are working day and night for this, but still we are gathering and we are creating awareness with other people as well, so that we can initiate and we can grow this project even ahead. And while it's not about students who are working over here, even if though we will leave, we will have that culture in us, so that when we will go out to work, wherever we will be working out with, we can spread the idea and spread the sense that yes, there is something inculcated in us by IHM, and that is the Food Soldier event.
Thank you.
I only have one question to both of you, because this happens to be a very passionate project that you're working on already. As you've said that even after the journey, being a student ends, you're going to be continuing with this. So do you have any particular projected things in your mind that you would like to go ahead and take this lead more in life?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you can just give us a little bit of a, sight into that as well.
I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are.
So what we will be doing after we will be leaving this project, after the institution, ma'am, we will be going ahead. Ma'am, after we will be leaving this institution, like we will be making aware of like families, people, our neighbors and other institutions who we will be working with, and the people, our colleagues to whom we will be inculcating with, and coming across day by day, we will be spreading the knowledge. It's not only be given to us, we will be spreading it, and we will make sure that as we are inculcated and we have given the knowledge about Food Soldier and all this event, we will definitely spread this and we will engross more and more day by day, wherever we go, wherever we stay and wherever we are. We will definitely spread this message.
All right.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much, Team India. We wish you all the best for the activities to continue and so that more people are benefited. Thank you so much.
All the very best, Team India. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving into the next country, and that would be Namibia. I would like to welcome Chef Terry Jenkinson and, of course, his team who would be here from Namibia presenting their work. First of all, congratulations. Many congratulations to team in Namibia for being a part of the Plate Trophy finals.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, Chef, your timing is going to be starting now. For the next 10 minutes, you would be allowed in for the presentation. Best wishes.
Okay, we're also having a bit of trouble with our slides, but I have secondary research here that I can go over.
Definitely. All the very best to you, Chef.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I've focused mainly on all 17 goals. So I would like to start with the poverty. More than 43.3% of Namibia's population live in poverty. Across the 14 administrative regions of Namibia, the incidence of multidimensional poverty was the highest in the Kavango, East, West, and the Kunene region. There are many ways in which we can reduce poverty, and this is by increasing access to education, end war and conflict, and requesting equality. In Namibia, an estimated percentage of 42.3% of the population is undernourished. Due to the high rates in poverty, we in the hospitality and tourism industry can act and stand together by holding food donations, completing urban farming, and being more sustainable with our food. There are more than 4,000 commercial farms in Namibia. Namibia has access to some of local grown crops such as pearl millet, wheat, sorghum, and some fruits and vegetables. If we stand together and donate some of these crops to the less fortunate, we would be able to save many lives in the less privileged communities of Namibia. Namibia, as one of the most countries, has suffered from diseases such as HIV and AIDS, malaria, and other diseases, such as the most recent COVID-19. With this in mind, the pandemic affected a lot of businesses and individuals from around the world. This left the unemployment and poverty rate very high in Namibia. In April 2020, the unemployment rate reached 14.8%. This resulted in being the highest rate of unemployment in Namibia since the late 1948. In July 2021, the unemployment rate increased by 5%, which eventually led to a higher poverty rate. We in the hospitality and tourism industry should stand together to make employment easier for the less fortunate. This will set a goal to reduce the unemployment rate in Namibia. We should stand together in a world where women and men are treated equally in this industry and are given equal opportunities. Recent studies that have been conducted shown that only 25% of the hospitality leadership roles are occupied by women. We should make it a goal and achieve this goal by providing equal rights in the hospitality and tourism industry. Namibia has set a goal to provide the rural areas with an increased 12% sanitation, rising from 28% to 40%, and urban areas an increase in 10%, rising from 77% to 87%. Most schools and households in Namibia do not have access to clean water or sanitation. Namibia, as one of the most countries, has a long history of water scarcity and drought. We should keep in mind with the result of renewable energy. Namibia has a high potential when it comes to renewable energy resources. One of Namibia's main energy sources comes from the Ruacana hydropower plant. Restaurants and hotels in Namibia, as well as households, should start switching over to more renewable energy or power. For example, switching over to LED lights, switching off all unnecessary equipment or power. And there's an estimated that only 55.2% of Namibia have access to electricity. With the rise in infrastructure, more job opportunities will be created for the less fortunate, and the unemployment rate in Namibia will decrease. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And we shall be opening for questions now.
Thank you so much for your presentation. You've touched on virtually all the 17 goals, as you said. Have you actually been able to do any primary research about, how things may increase or how things may improve? Or how have you kind of concluded upon this research? I take it that the statistics you are giving are from literature and government sites that you have been looking at. So the objective of your research is to, is it a long-term journey that you're taking, that you will be looking again after 5 years? Or how will you be implementing, to put in, say, for example, gender inequality? You said that there were more men than women in the hospitality industry. So how will you be looking at that kind of data? Will you be implementing any kind of measures to measure that?
Yes, the government has focused on mainly on gender equality in each and every business in Namibia. We have been seeing a slow rise in equal rights for both women and men in the country. There's been women that has taken up many jobs, roles as chefs, working in mines, jobs that were not back then regarded for women, as they said. But now the government has made it possible to provide job opportunities for both parties.
Okay. Kavita ma'am, do you have any questions?
You would just have to unmute yourself, Dr. Kavita.
Okay, I just have two questions. First of all, very nice presentation.
Thank you so
do
much.
you have any idea about solar energy in Namibia?
Solar energy, Namibia focuses mainly, like I said, on solar energy. Yes, I would say most farms these days focus mainly on solar energy. Because, yes, I would say the sun shines a lot in Namibia.
Yeah, because you mentioned LED lights. So I was thinking solar energy, because it's Namibia, you probably have plenty of it and you could use that as one of the solutions for renewable energy. What about millets? Do you use millets a lot in your cuisine?
Yes, we do. We use a lot of these local sourced crops such as pearl millet, the wheat, sorghum, and some fruits and vegetables as well.
And is poverty more in urban or rural areas? Is there any distinction?
Yes, I would say the poverty is, I would say equal. It depends, but mainly in the rural areas, yes.
Okay, thank you and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chef. And indeed, it was a very, very informative presentation. Thank you so much for working so hard on it, and all the very best from all of us here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Good luck to you. All right, everybody. Now we have the next presentation, which is going to be by Equatorial Guinea and represented by the chef mentor, Mr. Ritvik Chaudhary. I think I can see him on screen. A very warm welcome to you, Ritvik. Are you able to hear us?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Ritvik. And we shall be starting the presentation now. All the very best to you.
So I choose the title Responsible Action to Improve Local River Quality and Protecting Wildlife. Rivers carry water and nutrition to our areas all around the earth. They play a very important part in the water cycle, acting as a drainage channels for the
All
surface
right,
water.
I would just like to interrupt. I'm sorry, Ritvik, if you can be a little slower for us to understand and hear you properly.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Rivers drain nearly 75% of the Earth's land surface. Still water is the most poorly managed resource in the world. The rivers are important country economy because human civilization were born in the river. Polished and developed, they carry sediments and mineral which are very useful for us. Rivers provide cheap and efficient inland transport for trade and commerce. They help cities to town to carry their wastes. Their waste is extensively used in irrigation and developing hydroelectricity. The rivers contain natural fresh sweet water which is required for the survival of most of the animal including man. Every year unsafe water sickness about 1 million people worldwide. Protection of the river and other water sources is the fundamental duty of our society. As population is on rise, it has become more important than ever to save our rivers. Once the water is rivers gets polluted, there are several harmful implications for humans. Hence, we should always strive to keep our rivers clean and fresh, free from pollution. We can take many prevention action in order to keep our rivers and water or healthy. Some of measures are follows as industry into the rivers, chemicals and heavy metals from industry and municipal wastewater contaminate waterways as well. The contaminants are toxic to aquatic life, most often reducing an organism like sperm and ability to reproduce and make their way up to the food chain. We must buy biodegradable clean products. Reduce your plastic consumption and use your recycled plastics items to keep them ending up down to the drain. If you have yard, consider landscaping, the reduced runoff and avoid applying pesticides, herbicides. Future. We must not waste water when we shower. After that, we must install the displacement device in the back of the toilet for consuming less water. It's also essential to turn the tap off while brushing or shaving. Moreover, on the most, all switch off the lights and unplug device when not in use, the way we save. Electricity, which is turn save water that goes into the production of electricity. Always remember to never throw trash in the river. It is a sad thing that people have not realized the importance of river. The water carries rivers not contains pesticide and chemicals used as manners and poisonous wastes from factories. The banks of the rivers are dirty and unhygienic. It's the high time we put to end this state of affairs. Rivers must be preserved. We should not wait for the government to do the cleaning of rivers. People should have to take the initiative to clean the rivers because rivers are the most beautiful things in our world to go there and enjoy with your family, with your friends. So we have to take an initiative to clean our rivers. We never depend on the government. Environment quality standard on groundwater, surface water and ocean pollutant emission standard of urban sewage treatment, mud disposal and water left irrigation. We should also improve index system on water pollutant, specific emission limit value of major industry pollution, prevention technology pollution and clean production evaluation. All localities should make local water pollutant emission standard that is stricter than national standards. We should reinforce law enforcement. All pollution units should emit pollutant according to laws. We should screen pollution situation of industrial and price by one. Those enterprises that meet emission standards, we should take the measures to ensure future compliance. We should crack down on violence against environment laws. We should take mainly crackdowns on non-compliance, including pipe drain, emission of water containing toxicants and pathogens through leaching well. Pollution prevention laws to the public and society invite people to participate in environmental law, enforcement and investigation into water pollution cases. Protecting river and wetland ecological system, we should protect ecological environment in river. Scientifically draw a red line to protect ecological environment. We should provide the encroachment on water reservation areas, including natural wetland, and set a deadline to restore the already enriched areas. We should improve the construction and protection of water reservation forest. Protect and restore wetlands and restore more farmlands to forests, grasslands and wetlands. We should improve the ecological constructions of river lake belt and install plant buffer belt and isolation belt on construction of the river. We should also provide more protection for the natural protection zone of aquatic wild plants and animal for protection zone of quality aquatic critic resource. Now let's discuss some of the effects of river in environment and wildlife. River provide excellent habitat and food for many the earth organisms. They are source of water, food, and shelter necessary for the animal to survive. Animals live at all the three stages of the river: upper, middle, and the lower. Countless species of the fish, birds, and other animals live in the along rivers and depend on them for their food. The nourishing entire ecosystem. Polluted river kill fish, birds, marine mammals, and sea turtles, destroy habits, and even affect humans in Africa. Animals such as antelopes, lions, and elephants go to the river for drinking waters. It's crucial for us to save our rivers in order to preserve wildlife and ultimately the entire ecosystem. The chances of organisms having access to water and even to reproduce dwindles. Rivers are used by birds a number of ways. Wetlands provide them a breeding grounds. Rivers are sources of food and water. And rivers are a useful system that helps curtain navigate some main factors that are directly affecting rivers ecosystem include such human activities such as dredging, recreation activities, and pollution from urban areas. This will again be passed up the food chain to the birds and other animals that consume these food sources. Scientists who have been studying the effect of urbanization on river in southern Wales found that a particular bird species, the European ripper, had hormone issues that is strongly correlated with the chemical found in the fish and insects being consumed. Overall, the health and reproductive outcome were impacted by the increase and urbanization. Rivers are a wonderful part of nature and they are here for us to enjoy. We must also remember that rivers are also home. Continue to enjoy the nature, but keep always in your mind to enter someone home. Continue to preserve and protect nature homes for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritwik, for your entire, research work on, of course, rivers and trying to protect wildlife.
Yes.
I have to say that, of course, you definitely have a great heart towards it, and you're trying to do a lot of things to go ahead and enrich our wildlife as well and protect them. So thank you so much for the presentation. Now I'll be going ahead and opening the Q&A round to Dr. Kavita and, of course, Rupa ma'am here. Any questions from both of you?
Shall I go first?
Yes, please.
Okay. How strict are your pollution laws?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Are the laws very strict? Do people follow the laws?
Yes, ma'am, of course they have to follow the laws, because if they didn't follow the laws, the families and friends cannot go to chill out the rivers, because rivers are the most beautiful part of our world, where we are going to see and relaxing, to have a vacation with your students, like with your friends, with your families. So we don't need to depend on government for the laws. We also take to have an initiative to clean our rivers. We cannot throw the plastic. If we want to eat something there, so we cannot throw the plastics there. So we also have to take an initiative.
Citizens also have to be very responsible. Okay. What about organic farming? Is it popular in your place?
No, ma'am, it's not popular, but I wanted to make it popular actually. They are depending on many other countries for that, but here they are not too much into this. So I want to make it.
Okay, all the best to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Rupa ma'am?
Yes, I just wanted to, you've given us a lot of information, and obviously rivers, the water is important, not just for enjoying, but for daily life. It's essential. For everything that we have, it is essential. Over the last few years, have you seen responsibility being taken by the citizens rather than the government?
Because of the technology, many people put in their houses alarms that the water cannot be fall more out. If they have like summer in their houses, if water come out, they have alarm. So alarm give them sound so they can switch off that they can save the water. Because in many villages, they don't have water. And in Equatorial Guinea, water is a very big problem here. They always depend on others for the water. They have so much land, but because of the factories, they have so much factories, the water is polluted.
So it's a very big problem, it seems, that you have regarding water. Yes, and it is very important.
I'm from India, but just I am representing Equatorial Guinea. I'm here as a marketing coordinator. So I just want to let them know.
Okay, at least you've been able to identify a major issue, and hopefully, the things will improve soon when the individual citizens take responsibility for this.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Ritvik, before you leave, I have a question for you because you're an Indian settled in Equatorial Guinea, and that is really fantastic. The kind of love that you have for the location that you're in, right? And how long has it been that you're staying there now?
Ma'am, only just 6 months. I'm coming here for my internship in marketing. Then they will hire me. They will give me a contract. So I'm staying here maybe just for 2 and 3 years. I just give my best. So they will give me this opportunity for the IHM. I organize the AROL because here people don't speak good English. So that's why only Spanish. So like I'm working as a translator.
That's wonderful, because along with your work and definitely being in such a, of course, a very different country from India, again, you have gone ahead and seen the challenges that the people are basically facing in the daily life. So while you were doing, the research, I'm certain you have come across a lot of sources, right? Did you face any challenges while you were trying to speak to people?
Actually, when I want to ask them, do you have this problem? You have this problem. They don't want to share me. The problem is that actually, I don't like to say this, but here the people is like, you cannot understand them. If they have some problem, they don't want to do this. So it's very hard to tell them, please do this, do this. So it's very hard, ma'am.
Nonetheless,
actually, if they don't have water, they don't need water. They were like this. It's okay. For them, it's okay.
Right. But then, of course, we are extremely amazed, very happily amazed by the concern that you basically have towards the country and, of course, the citizens there. We truly believe that, with the intent, the good intent that you have in your heart, you would be able to progress somewhere.
All Indians have good heart.
All right.
You will gain their trust soon. Don't worry.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Keep smiling and all the very best for your presentation. We look forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to the next country. So this would be the country of Italy. And from Italy, we have Gianluca Masula, who's in fact there, the mentor. A very warm welcome to you. If we could have Team Italy. Yes. I'll request the IT team to unmute them. Yes, we can see them. A very warm welcome to you.
Hi.
Very good afternoon to you from all of us here in the Research Center, and we would love to hear from you. All the very best, and thank you so much for the paper presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we can start now. All the very best.
Perfect. Thank you. While informing myself about the 17 goals, this is 17 Sustainable Development Goals by the UN, what I really tried to do was to get to the point to what effective practice and things we could do to get really more sustainable and to get to the 17 points. So I treated the first, about 7 points because I think that they're really fundamental for the development. And I've tried to insert in the paper all the things and all the action I actually try to take myself, and of some project I really know from myself and also from my family to be involved too. So about the sustainability, one of the things that's fundamental is to try to create some cities and maybe some societies that are really autosufficient, and they can produce all what they need through different projects. So there's this project that is called WASA, that's called Casa, that in Italian means home. And this project is hosted by the University Bocconi from the Students for Humanity Association. And what they really trying to do from 2011 is to make this little city in Africa autosufficient, and they're trying to create schools that always get better, and so students can get an instruction and can really produce their own food. They've got water. They're trying to make it more sustainable and more really autosufficient, and really they won't need the approach from other countries or other societies to get involved. We're also trying, also me at school, we're trying to get more and more plastic free. So there's many alternatives to get to the point to don't have more wastage of plastic, and we can use also some different products, eliminate plastic from our lives.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Gianluca. I think the audio is a little, it's kind of wavering. We're not able to hear you properly. If that can be corrected.
I think we've got some little problems with the audio because of the computer.
This is better now. We are able to hear.
Okay, I can get closer.
Yes, that's
Perfect.
right. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
And so what I really tried to do by writing down my paper was to get to the point that hospitality and tourism can really influence the actual sustainability, global sustainability. And there's some little actions that will be taken from the hotels or also from the host and go on, that can really influence a little bit the sustainability of the global world. And so trying to get, such as the project WASA, some little school or some stage for people who can actually work or who have not such a practical instruction to get to a job, and then it could also influence the research of working people that's there right now.
All right. Gianluca, is that all? Would you like to say anything more on the presentation?
Yeah. Actually, I have not a presentation, a virtual one. I've just written down the paper. And
okay. Okay. All right. Fine. So I would just open for any questions.
Good afternoon. Would you like to elaborate on what the objectives of your research are? How do you see it moving forward and producing more results? Do you have a particular plan or a method for that?
Yeah, what I really think that will be necessary is to take a stronger decision from the institution to get some laws or also some good practice that needs and have to be introduced. And so in this way, we can really, in some way, impose some good sustainable development goals. But at the same time, if we won't going to be imposing them, probably the 2030 agenda won't be reached. And so we need some strong, really strong decision from the different institutions to get and to be more involved into 2030 agenda. And related to this, also the economic favorization also from this institution should be necessary, because as we all know, sustainable projects organic food and go on. Generally costs a little bit more, but because it doesn't use any pesticide or any kind of plastic in the production. And so the cost is going to get higher and higher. And so if there's research, there could be a solution such as right now for the film of plastic in kitchen. There's a beeswax that's like a film made out of beeswax, and that's sustainable because it is reusable on, and that's natural and organic. And there are different solutions that could be taken, but it takes time, it takes strong decision, and it takes money.
Okay, thank you so much. Kavita ma'am, any questions?
Yeah, and very nice presentation. And one more thing is beeswax is not harmful to us. So that's another good point, though it's renewable and it's not harmful to us. Can you say something about food wastage in your country?
Yes. So actually, there's a food waste of about 3 kilograms per person each year.
Oh, okay.
And so this is a big number if we consider that there are 60 million people in Italy. And if we could just get to a point where people can reuse what they habitually wasted, it is going to give more opportunity to other people to get the food they need. But because the over-alimentation of somebody is because of the under-alimentation of somebody else. And also to the ground and to the earth, it is going to be better because the overproduction is actually destroying our terrains and the earth. And in some year, we're gonna get to different point and different action to really try to produce more and more, probably also not in a sustainable way. So what we need to do is to find our appropriate alimentation from local farmer and try to develop it.
Okay,
thank you.
That's very interesting. Thank you so much for that information.
Thank you very much. It was indeed a very good presentation. A lot of information shared. We wish you all the very best. Thank you. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we are moving to the next country, and this would be Spain. And from Spain, we have Nicholas Merchant, who has in fact joined us right now. Nicholas Merchant. Hello there, chef. Very good afternoon from India. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, no, hello.
Hello, very good afternoon to you and wishing you the very best from the research panel for the presentation.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
I'm sorry, but right now I don't have the visual presentation because I had to connect on my phone.
That would be all right, chef. So you can actually give a verbal presentation itself. That will do.
Okay.
Good luck to you. Yes.
Thank you. So basically, I started my research thinking about here in Spain, especially in the region I'm on. We try to like really take care of our things, our culture, our people. So here it's very common to see like the community taking care and doing it, but it's not everywhere that this happens. So I always have been very intrigued why we don't help us. So I decided to like focus my research on how, especially in our industry, because our industry is very big and has everything to do with food, management and everything. And was like, how can we help the local producers to improve the quality of the product and to produce in a more sustainable way? So basically I started researching like here in my college. We actually have some local producers to come once in a while and they talk about us, how they work and what they do. So they always are trying to say that basically they don't get the support they need because producing in a more sustainable way tends to be a bit more expensive. So the lack of interest for some places to actually buy into this product causes a less sustainable environment. Therefore, in my research, I try to say that how actually sustainability not only affects, it's not only about waste or about environment, but it's also an economic issue. In my research, I found out that yes, sustainability is a very complicated topic, and it's very profound, and it has to do with society, environment, economic, etc. And therefore, the problem with sustainability is not, well, now it's starting to function and be a more important topic, is that people doesn't know what it actually means, and that it doesn't take much to create a more sustainable environment and to help the planet, and this also will help the economy. So in my research, I found out that there is a place that produces here olive, that is one of the biggest exporters of olive. They got the support they needed, and once they got started to do with the support, they could actually start producing more sustainable, and being able, and also they had the research afterwards. It was just they only needed like a bit of help at the beginning, so they can start using more sustainable ways of industry. And once they did that, everything went better. They got more recognition internationally, so their product became more important around the world. They the network was bigger, and the project could be. But locally, and especially in our industry, in stability and everything, we need to help them at the beginning, and we need to stay together. And once we start being more sustainable, it could also mean that it doesn't have to be too expensive to be sustainable, and it will help the earth. Also, everyone here can make small changes to be more sustainable. And another thing that I found on my research is that as the population gets bigger and bigger, and sustainability is not about making like a big change, but it's combining small changes, because it's on waste management. I want to talk now. Everything we take out of the earth, it makes a change on the earth. So we have to understand this, and everything we produce, we manufacture, doesn't matter that it gets recycled, it's making a change. So if we understand that everything we have has some value and is important, and we do the respect it gets, we could be more sustainable, and we could help more the earth and help more the environment. So that was basically my research. And yeah, so on waste management, I also want to clarify that here in Spain, a restaurant is dropping about 20 kilos of waste, and some of it is recycled, but some of it is also just waste that is not going to be reusable. So saying this, that everything we take out of the earth is making a change, even if we are doing in a sustainable way, we have to be conscious on what to do after. So reducing, recycling, doing all this is important, but also coming up with new ways is essential. So yeah, that's it for my presentation. And sorry, I don't have the visual aid.
No, that's okay. It's very interesting. And I think you've hit upon the very essence of what sustainability is, that it cannot be done overnight, but only through incremental changes, small changes by people every day taking responsibility, so that, even as you said, even the farming can be done in such a way that the changes to the earth or anything, even waste management in restaurants. We know there's a huge waste management which occurs. So some education in that particular respect, which can be given to those people, will help in reducing that waste, and also perhaps in the amount of food that we actually cook, because we need to know what is not going to be wasted. So this is something which is going to be of immense value as the years go by for our next generations.
Exactly, yes.
Thank you so much, Rupa ma'am. Nicholas, we also have Dr. Kavita Reddy here. Ma'am, if you would like to go ahead and announce any questions for Nicholas.
Thank you for your very interesting presentation. I just have one question. Like you said, we have to make changes in the restaurant to, according to you, it's about 20 kgs waste per day. So maybe you can give me 1 or 2 examples of how we can reduce this wastage, which you thought about.
Yes. How could we? Okay. So basically, I think, like, talking as a new chef, and some places, and I'm saying a lot of places are already doing this, but it's saying like, I use this part of this product and I waste that. It's thinking of coming up new ways to what to do with the leftovers, like not the leftovers, but
part which
like
you
the thing that could be
reduce.
used in another recipe, and not just throwing away because we need more time to think what we do with this. So this way, we are using more the product, more the waste, and creating new ideas and changing. I don't know, example is right now some people are using the peel of the potato to create like a snack, something as simple as that. Starting doing that in the restaurants and being conscious about it could make a big change.
Okay. And the other thing is sustainable, generally plant-based foods are more environment friendly. Is Spain a place where people eat plant foods? Are they popular or more meat? Is there any change?
Well, actually, in Spain, before, people used to eat a lot a more plant-based diet. But right now we are going back like to eat more plant-based and doing more different things with plant-based, and we are reducing the consumption of meat, but still it needs more time. Because before in Spain, like after the economic issues we had here, and and everything that happened here, most of our traditional recipes are actually plant-based and like very, very little meat. But now that changed. But like the instructions to do that are there, and we can do more plant-based diet.
Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you very much. That was very interesting.
Thank you.
So much, Nicholas. It was really interesting, a lot of knowledge, and I'm certain all the students, the audience, everybody is listening to it, are really being encouraged by the efforts, and definitely, to the sustainable goals that all of you have spoken about. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in, Nicholas. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we still have few countries left who shall be coming in some time right now for the presentation ceremony. But before that, we shall be going ahead and getting a small break and coming back. We would love to have you go over, have a cup of tea, coffee, maybe lunch, in case if you're in the lunchtime right now, but do not move over from the Zoom, because this is where all the rest of the research work would be presented. Thank you so much for joining in. And I will be requesting, my IT team to go ahead and basically have some information related to the break time. Thank you.
resounding success of the Young Chef India schools, with the finals being held at London for the 3 consecutive years, we thought that why don't we do it international, global? Because today the entire world is global. The Indian cuisine have reached all the parts of the world. So we wanted to do an Olympiad where we get the best young chef from as many countries as possible, and they come to India and they do a cook-off, a competition of an international standard, of a global standard, where we get the best chefs in the world to mentor them, to train them, and in effect, it is going to be infectious to the youngsters of the country who will be following them on Twitter, on social media, on television, on newspapers, and they will be extremely excited to get that kind of participation from maybe 40 countries and maybe some of the best chefs in the world who have already confirmed. So we thought, let's make it big. Let's make it an international event in India, where the tourism of India can also be highlighted, the culinary richness of the country can be highlighted, and a lot of these youngsters who are fantastic cooks in their own country, they've never seen the country, they've never seen India, they've never been to India, and I think it's a great opportunity for these 40 young chefs from the 40 different countries all over the world to come, to be in India for a week, to be as a team, as a group, to cook their own cuisine and also learn from us, and also learn Indian cuisine and to take back a part of Indian cuisine back home.
Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. No one told me I was going to make an address, so I haven't written anything. But let me just say how wonderful it is to be at this event. I get invited to lots of things. I'm lucky enough to get invited to lots of events, but I don't often get invited to go to something that I wanted to go to as much as I wanted to be here with you all this evening. That's partly because I just love food, but it's also because I think this is a wonderful event, and I congratulate the organisers on their vision for this event. It's so wonderful to see so many young people from so many different countries come together to do something love. I'm very proud to say that in my country, which is represented here, in my country, food is a very important part of our lives, and we have some of the very best cooking in the world in Great Britain. Great food and great cooking is part of what makes Great Britain great. But it's equally clear that all of these countries represented here have fantastic culinary traditions of their own, wonderful food, wonderful ingredients, and these wonderful young people to represent all of that. Looking at these flags and countries behind me, I think I'm safe in saying I've been to every single one of these countries, and I think I can remember a wonderful meal in each of those countries. So I'm sure that all of these young people are going to do some fantastic things over the next few days. It's really great to see these young people, and in fact all the other young people here who have chosen to make food the center of their lives and their futures. It's a wonderful thing. So good luck to all the contestants. congratulations to the organizers. The people that I'm really jealous of are the judges because they get to try all of this stuff. So if any of the other judges don't turn up, I'm very happy to step into the breach. But I wish you all very well. It's great to be here. Congratulations and enjoy the next few days. Thank you.
I hereby declare the world's first ever Young Chef Olympiad 2015 open.
To see this happen, I think it's like a dream come true for many Indians. I won't just say chefs, because India has always had good food.
So the Young Chef Olympiad with the IIHM, I think it's a great initiative of grooming young talent who are passionate about food and cooking.
From Armenia to Zimbabwe, from Canada to Cambodia, from England to Egypt, from Ireland to India. This is the United Nations of Young Chefs, ladies and gentlemen.
We are the champs, we are the young chefs, ready to do and give it our best.
The bronze medal comes from Canada.
Sizzle and bake.
Silver Olympiad goes to Malaysia.
The winner is
The first bronze goes to Hong Kong.
Louder!
Thank you, YCO Olympus 2018 provide a good platform for us to learning, to sharing, and we have family.
Scotland take home the bronze medal and the bronze trophy.
I think it's good for two home nations of us to actually win something. So
Sometimes we play football and we don't
we get
like
nothing.
each other.
So yeah, I mean, he's nice enough.
The silver winner is India.
This platform that Dr. Bose has created is like phenomenal, because if that was not created, we like budding chefs like us would not have got the platform to show our skills. The whole world would not have known us. And yes, I heartily thank Dr. Bose along with the whole team of IHM, my college, my mentor, Chef Sudipto Majumdar, Chef Sanjay Kak, all my faculty chefs who have trained me really hard. Okay, for the very final time, the winner is Malaysia! Lai Jia Taylor's University, Young Chef Olympia 2018, winner is Malaysia!
Feel very happy.
IIHM Campus, Kolkata. The teams start arriving for the final cook-off that will decide the top 10 countries fighting it out in the grand finale of IIHM International Young Chef Olympiad. The competition is now going to take a serious turn. After all, this is a world stage and the best of young chefs from 50 countries are aiming for one trophy.
I think this kind of competition can only make us to build bridges and break barriers and make culinary a truly global profession. a spirit of Young Chef Olympiad, as we all know, is not about just a contest. It's not about just a competition or the winning or the losing or the gold or the silver or the bronze. It's a spirit of friendship. It's a spirit of supporting each other. It's a spirit of being together as a fraternity of the chefs, and more importantly, as a fraternity of the young chef. So this year, we had an absolutely amazing experience. And one of our very favorite country, which comes every year, Wales, was struggling for some kind of fund to come for the Young Chef Olympiad. We all was trying hard, but then it was not happening. So the spirit of Olympiad came into being, and the mentor of Scotland, Gary McLean, he's also the national chef of Scotland. He's also the Master Chef professional winner 2018. He raised a fund by hosting a dinner so that the Wales can come and participate in the Young Chef Olympiad 2020. Can you believe it? This is the spirit of Young Chef Olympiad, ladies and gentlemen. As I was saying, it's not just a competition. It is all about friendship. It's all about bonding. It's all about being together for life. And the spirit of YCO 2020 award goes to Gary McLean from Scotland. Can I have Gary up on the stage, please?
Woo! Gary McLean takes home the Spirit of YCO Award. May I request Professor David Foskett to join in to hand over this award. Professor David Foskett, if you could please join in to hand over this award. Gary McLean, please come up. That's the spirit of YCO, ladies and gentlemen, where Gary came in and made sure that Wales also come in and participate. The Spirit of YCO Award. And with the Spirit of YCO, can you all join hands together and raise it to the sky? All the contestants, join hands and raise it to the sky. All of you, raise your hands to the sky, join hands together. Raise your hands to the Spirit of YCO. IIHM.
Young Chef Olympiad has always been much more than a mere cooking contest. It is about coming together of nations and exchange of goodwill for a united love for food. This year, with the theme Forward Together, the United World of Young Chefs is a fun and interactive event hosted by IIHM in the backdrop of a week-long contest. 55 countries, 55 national dishes cooked by the 55 contestants themselves at their own institute kitchens. UWYC is not a part of a competitive section but just a gesture of affection and mutual respect for each other. This year, the event is virtual, yet contestants are a sight to behold. A series of events were lined up for the day, like the live symposiums, live sessions with industry stalwarts such as Kunal Kapoor, Ranveer Brar, amongst other industry reputes. The fun of it is also shared by the many viewers who watch the event live. Can an event be any better? After all, when it is that, you find world cuisine, 55 national dishes with 24 time zones united under one event.
And Dr. Bose, thank you for making sure that people do not lose hope. It is a landmark event in history of hospitality. With this kind of arrangement, with this technology, by putting everyone together, I'm awestruck. by the scale of this competition. IIHM takes the lead with a leader so ably assisting you. I think kudos to the entire team.
Final moment arrives as the winner is announced. And the winner is
gold medal. The big trophy from the hands of man with a golden jacket goes to, hold your breaths, goes to Hong Kong.
Good evening in India, good afternoon, good morning, and a very good day. Welcome to the show back again. Honor to have all of you from Bulgaria to Barbados, from Iceland to Indonesia. It's of difficult time for the young people. Colleges, universities all over the world are closed, and we are never sure whether we can do it. To all the countries, my thanks. To all the contestants, my thanks. To all the mentors, all the judges, all the mentors, all the chef contestants.
It is for me a tremendous honor and pleasure being part of this wonderful competition.
In the name of all the coaches of the Young Chef Olympiad, I promise that we shall commit ourselves to ensuring that the spirit of hospitality and fair play is fully adhered to and upheld in accordance with the fundamental principles of Olympiad. Thank you.
For this Young Chef Olympiad 2022, please go ahead, Saurabh.
In the name of all competitors, I promise that we shall take part in the Young Chef Olympiad, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern them, committing ourselves to the competition with a fair play, in true spirit of Olympiad, for the glory of the culinary world and the honor of our country. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for listening to this.
All the coaches of the Young Chef Olympiad, I promise that we shall commit ourselves to ensuring that the spirit of hospitality and fair play is fully adhered to and upheld in accordance with the fundamental principles of Olympiad. Thank you.
In the name of all the judges and officials, I promise that we shall officiate Young Chef Olympiad with complete impartiality, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern the true spirit of hospitality. Thank you.
All competitors, I promise that we shall take part in the Young Chef Olympiad, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern them, committing ourselves to the competition with a fair play, in true spirit of Olympiad, for the glory of the culinary world and the honor of our country. Thank you.
It's so inspirational. I keep on listening to you, and I know that there is so much that has been said. There is so much that needs to be said, but I think what needs to be said is by the young chefs who would be performing for next few days.
All right, there you are. Over to you, Chef Ranveer.
Hi Abdullah, Dr. Bose, Basket. I can see Chef Rahul and all the co-judges. Fantastic seeing all of you. And I think congratulations to IIHM once again, to Dr. Bose for pulling this through.
This is the trophy. Declare the ceremony, sir. If you could declare the ceremony. World's biggest culinary Olympiad across 40 countries, 24 time zones, 176 cameras, all will boil down to this one big trophy. Culinary world stands together. Culinary world is there together.
Please welcome Armenia! Santo Dose Nemo Professional Franco-Armenia, Harbi Garakhani and Gayen Simonia.
Okay, we are in the kitchen of Armenia right now, and we are so happy to see here once again the chief judge for the round one. Rupinder, we have Chef Sanjay Kayat here. Chef, how are you doing? How's it going?
Fantastic. It's been a whirlwind last 30 minutes, and we are in the judging stages, the first judging stage of the skills test now.
Gayen Simoen of Armenia with mentor Harbi Garakhani.
Amazing, Chef. We have been kind of touring and taking our audience to the different, world participated in fact, and they are also extremely excited to see the kind of skills.
Please welcome Saudi Arabia, Stadak Saudi Culinary Academy, Tarek Abu Name and Ms. Zainab Bakar Al Mubarak.
Moving on from the Arab world, we have Zainab Bakar Al Mubarak and mentor Tarek Abu Name representing Saudi Arabia.
Put on your hands together for Uganda, the Cooking School Uganda, Henry Wanyama Francis, Mukisa Enoch.
While especially this year from Uganda, we have Mukisa Enoch and mentor Henry Wanyama Francis.
They're working on bringing it close. We have a fourth camera here, which is going to be the mobile camera. We are logged in on one gadget with all the 4 cameras, but at any one time, if you need a particular camera or a particular angle, we can give it.
Okay, no problem.
Is that fine?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this the camera's better. Yeah. Good.
So that is.
You do not want to miss the battle of cameras from all these wonderful countries. See you soon.
Put on your hands together for Bulgaria, HRC Culinary Academy, represented by Henry Donios and Irina Bachwarova.
Representing her country, Bulgaria, we have young chef participant Irina Bakarova and mentor Henry Donner.
Please welcome Kenya, Boma International Hospitality College, Chris Burton and Horace Ayub Odor.
We have Horace Ayub Odur, the youngster proudly representing Kenya with mentor Chris Burton.
Please welcome Iran, Panif Meher Iranian Culinary Academy, Hossein Behrami and Mohammad Reza Hashmishipur.
Next, representing the Persian country, we have young Iranian Mohammad Reza Hashmishpur and the famous mentor Hussein Barami.
Put in a hand hands together for Greece. Limonde Institute of Hotel and Tourism Studies. Anagnastopoulos Victor Georgios Kelidis Alexandros.
Last but not the least, Greece. We have Kelidis Alexandros, the young chef, with mentor Anagnastopoulos Victor Georgios with their Greek cuisine under their sleeves.
There are two. Yeah, so they are just logging in the camera also.
Please welcome Turkey. Turkish Culinary Academy, Muzaffar Mutlu and Sirin Kaya.
Introducing you to the strong Turks, Ceren Kaya, the young chef participant, and mentor Muzaffar Mutlu from the Republic of Turkey.
Okay, lovely. Everybody, hi Paul.
Put on your hands together for Colombia. Augustinian University. Julio Cesar Gonzalez Alonso. Juliana Runza Buitrago.
We have the young Colombian chef Juliana Runza Buitrago with renowned mentor Julio Cesar Gonzalez Garcia from Colombia.
Put on your hands together for Nigeria. CMK Culinary Arts School. Ayike Elizabeth Uluchukwu and Hope Isaac.
From Nigeria, meet young chef Hope Isaac and mentor Iyake Elizabeth Oluchukwu.
Put on your hands together for the coolest country, Iceland. Hospitality and Culinary School of Iceland. Egir Friariksen and Halldór Haflidason.
While here, the young Halldór Haflidason comes from Iceland with mentor Ægir Fridriksson.
Put on your hands together for Barbados. Barbados Community College, Hospitality Institute, Trimeni Ricky and Dijuan Toppin.
Let's see what's happening in the kitchens of Barbados.
The island country Barbados is represented by Dijuan Toppin and mentor Tremaine Rees. Watch the battle of cameras on EAM's social channels as countries in the group fight for the YCO22 crown.
Please welcome Italy, Docente Tecnico Pratico, École Hotelière de la Ville d'Aoste, Gianluca Masullo and Matteo Signetti.
I can see a lot of preparation which you all have put in. So how's the evening been so far?
Meet the Italian duo stars, Matteo Signetti, the young chef, and mentor Gianluca Masullo.
We wish you all the best for the competition.
Put on your hands together for Namibia. Silver Spoon Hospitality Academy in Namibia. Terence Jenkinson and William Johannes van Zele.
Representing Namibia is Willem Johannes van Zyl with experienced mentor Terence Jenkinson.
Please welcome Mexico Gastronomy School of Anahuac University, Aldo Omar Morales and Nicole Elliott.
We are here in the kitchen of Mexico right now.
We have a Mexican duet, the young Nicole Elliott Levette and the well-known mentor, Aldo Omar Morales.
Put on your hands together for Canada! Canada College! Fintan Flynn and Mia Hills.
While Maya Hiltz and mentor Fintan Flynn represent their strong country of Canada in Group D.
Please welcome South Korea, Wusong University, Per Henrik Johnson and Seoyoung Kim.
Presenting you the young star proudly representing South Korea, Seoyoung Kim with extremely skilled mentor, Per Henrik Johnson.
Please welcome Indonesia, Bandung Institute of Tourism, Raihan Adam and Fyodora Marvella.
Moving on, meet the talented Indonesian duo Fyodora Marvella and mentor Raihan Adam.
Put on your hands together for Singapore at Sunrise Global Chef Academy, Singapore, Dylan Low and Chong JD.
From Singapore, we have Chong Jada with mentor Dylan Low.
Put on your hands together for New Zealand, Wellington Institute of Technology, Scott Campbell and Sian Letitia Davis.
While the shining lights for New Zealand are Sian Letitia Davis, the young chef and mentor Scott Campbell.
Which camera are we going to use?
Put your hands together for the Kingdom Country, Nepal, Academy of Culinary Art and Hospitality Management, Surya Mahat and Ajay Pun.
Proudly representing neighbouring Nepal is AJ Pun and mentor, Sayam Mahot.
Put on your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the host country, India! Represented by International Institute of Hotel Management, Clement de Cruz and Saurabh Valentine Gomes.
Contestant Saurabh Valentine Gomes currently completing his skills test. I can see some juliennes, alpacin, and I think so many other cuts, which is in fact getting prepared.
The young chef from India, we have the Super Chef title winner Saurabh Valentine Gomes with experienced mentor chef Clement de Cruz.
So there are, containment zones. There are a lot of issues going on in India, and in fact, it's a world problem. But Saurabh, with his mentor, Clement, is really trying hard. He's working hard, and he has prepared well for the competition. I'm sure we can only wish the best of luck to Saurabh, because each competitor here is the best from their school.
Absolutely.
It's a very, very tough competition.
Please welcome Bangladesh, NHTTI, Jahida Begum, Nadia Islam Qazi.
The final country of YCO in Group F is Bangladesh, where we have the young star Nadia Islam Qazi and renowned mentor Jahida Begum.
And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, put on your hands together for Wales, Cardiff and Wales College, Eric Couturier and Taran Moss.
Meet the first proud young chef Taran Moss and mentor Eric Couturier representing Wales.
Put on your hands together for Spain, Escola Superior de Hostelería de Barcelona, Jacob Salvador Fernandez and Nicolas Marchand Zapata.
The shining light Nicolas Marchand Zapata and renowned mentor Jacob Salvador Fernandez from Spain.
Put on your hands together for Russia, Russian International Academy of Tourism, Efimov Anatoly Dmitriev, and represented by Petrov Danil.
While we have the Russian duet the young Petrov Danil with mentor Efimov Anatoly Dmitrievich.
Please welcome England, Westminster Kingsway College, represented by Christopher Baston and Joe Slater.
Joe Slater, the young chef Englishman with mentor Christopher Baston.
International Center of the Uzbek Culinary Art, Akhmad Kamadamov and Alina Al-Shaban.
Meet Alina Al-Zabin, the talented youngster with super skilled mentor Akhmad Kandamov representing Uzbekistan.
Put your hands together for Scotland. City of Glasgow College, Hayley McCook and Robbie McDougall.
Next, bringing in the rich Scottish culture and heritage, we have young chef Robbie McDougall and mentor Hayley McCook.
Please welcome Equatorial Guinea Grand Hotel Jibloho Culinary School, the Sangha Jean Bosco and Isabel Mangio New Mai.
While the Central African country, Equatorial Guinea, comes next.
Put your hands together for Switzerland, BHMS Business of Hotel Management School, Sean Leonard and Donovan Aaron Tan.
From the home of beautifuls, we have the Swiss duo Donovan Aaron Tan, the young chef and world-renowned mentor Sean Leonard.
Put on your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the host country, India! Represented by International Institute of Hotel Management, Clement de Cruz and Saurabh Valentine. Go!
Contestant Saurabh Valentine Holmes currently completing his skills test. I can see some juliennes, alpacin, and I think so many other cuts, which is in fact getting prepared.
The young chef from India, we have the Super Chef title winner Saurabh Valentine Gomez with experienced mentor chef Clement D. Cruz.
So there are, containment zones. There are a lot of issues going on in India, and in fact, it's a world problem. But Saurabh, with his mentor, Clement, is really trying hard. He's working hard, and he has prepared well for the competition. I'm sure we can only wish the best of luck to Saurabh, because each competitor here is the best from their school.
Absolutely.
It's a very, very tough competition.
The 6th edition of IIHM International Young Chef Olympiad is back in a bigger, better and a grander avatar. A massive event in scale and magnitude, this is the only culinary contest in the world that brings together contestants from across the 4 points of the compass: East, West, North and South. A whopping 55 countries are part of this year's edition. For anyone embarking on a culinary journey, to stake a claim at the coveted title of IIHM International Young Chef Olympiad is always a dream. The reason to participate are many as well. For some, it is about raising their country's flag high. For others, it's about making new friends. For some, it's about learning from each other. But for everyone, it is mostly about being part of an endeavor that simply unites the world with a singular love for food.
This Olympiad is to bring the young people from all over the world under a single platform. So that one hand we have got a competition, which is a very tough competition. On the other hand, we have got a lot of bonding, friendship, getting united together, and they become friends for life.
The opening ceremony saw some of the biggest names from the hospitality sector, all of them particularly applauding the underlying theme of sustainability this year.
Sustainability.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. I hope you have taken a good break and you're back again with us. We are starting with the rest of the countries. We'll be going ahead and presenting the research work this afternoon. To begin with, I would like to go ahead and welcome here Miss Emily Fairweather from the Sheffield Hallam University, UK. And I can also see Mr. David Graham. Welcome to you, sir. We are so happy to see you here. Professor Graham is here from SHU, and we have also got Emily on screen. A very, very warm welcome from the research team here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Wonderful, Emily. Wishing you all the very best, and we look forward to your presentation right now. All the very best.
Lovely, thank you. I shall just share my screen. Perfect. Can everyone see that and hear me?
Absolutely, Emily. Good luck to you.
Lovely. Thank you. So my name is Emily Fairweather. I'm studying here at Sheffield Hallam University, and I conducted research on animal-based visitor attractions and their marketing practices. And I looked at conservation versus profit. So the aim of my study was to critically analyse the ethical marketing practices of two tourism attractions, one public and one private, to assess if they promote their attractions for profit or conservation. So I wanted to conduct this research on this particular topic as I wanted to investigate how animal-based visitor attractions are approaching these challenges that they're facing. I wanted to understand how they're balancing the conflicting opinions and the changing views, particularly the negative views that the consumers and the visitors hold, and how they are justifying themselves. And I chose the marketing approach as I personally have an interest in marketing as well. In relation to the Sustainable Development Goals, the study interlinks with three in particular. So ensuring sustainable consumption and production, life below water and life on land. And they all address the impacts on biodiversity, which is what these two organisations should be and are doing. So the key findings from my literature review and my study. So visitor attractions as a whole here in the United Kingdom, they're used as a key player in attracting tourists to a destination, and their marketing activities play a key role in that. So when I conducted the research, the three key issues identified were conservation, education, and entertainment. So I wanted to identify how these factors work together and how each organisation focuses on them, whether they're looking at one more in particular, whether they're looking at focusing on conservation and education, one more so than other, or whether they're working all three in sync with each other. So the trends that I identified concluded that pre-COVID-19 attendance levels for wildlife attractions and zoos were in decline due to concerns regarding animal welfare. So this is where the ethical marketing comes into it. It's the concern and the negative view that the consumers hold. So I chose ethical marketing as it focuses on the morals and the behaviours, as I said, the views that the consumers hold, the right or wrong mindset. So ethical marketing within animal-based visitor attractions, there had been little to no studies into this specific area. So I wanted to be able to fill a gap in there. And to be able to do that, I looked at applying the Mindful Matrix. And the Mindful Matrix is a tool for analysing ethical issues within marketing. And it states that marketing should be both effective and ethical. So towards the end of my research, I made a conclusion of whether both organisations that I evaluated, where they sat within the Mindful Matrix, and if I thought they achieved that. So the chosen two organisations I focused on were London Zoo and Sea Life Centre London. So London Zoo is a public organisation run by the Zoological Society of London, and Sea Life London is a private organisation run by Merlin Entertainments. So the research I conducted used qualitative content analysis. I looked at evaluating both text and images, and I followed Bryman's steps of qualitative research. So the key findings I found from my website analysis. So for London Zoo, their online newsletter provides email updates with information on their zoos and their conservation work. The website itself focuses on the charity, their zoos, their science and their conservation. The promotional material focuses on their animals, not just within their zoos, but also with the animals across the world that they're contributing to. Oh, sorry, just move the little thing out the way. There we go. And one of the major marketing campaigns is surrounding their donations, which go towards their conservation work. For Sea Life London, their website focuses on the tickets, the attraction and the conservation. The promotional material mainly focused upon their ticket sales. As you can see in their photos, it was about promoting the deals that they have. And further material focused upon animals within the attraction, but also the visitors themselves. It was about promoting the fun aspect and the family day out. And with the conservation, there was limited information on their conservation work. There was no justification for the animals in which they house within their sea life centres. They spoke about their work within 2 sanctuaries which help whales and seals, but they gave very limited information into the animals that they actually have within their centres. So overall, the key findings were that London Zoo hugely focuses on their lead organisation and promoting the conservation and the science work that they do. For Sea Life Centre, they mainly focus upon the ticket sales and the promoting entertainment, as I just said, and the limited information on the issues facing biodiversity was a key issue for me. There was limited justification behind that. So the challenges itself that my research faced were the lack of contemporary research surrounding that subject area. However, overall, the study was able to achieve its aim. It was able to identify the marketing practices and the difference between the public and the private organisation. It was able to fill a gap within that contemporary research on ethical marketing. And the only limitations to this study were that I only focused on 2 particular animal-based visitor attractions, and the research was only undertaken online. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. And if anyone has any questions.
Hello, Emily. Thank you so much for that presentation. It was very, very informative. I wanted to ask, you've seen the differences as you've concluded. Do you think that is there any difference in the revenue which is gained by the private visitor attraction?
Yes, so I do not know, I'm afraid. Yeah, that would have been something very, very interesting to look into. But my main focus was the marketing aspect of it, yes, and the looking at it visually.
Do you feel that people would be more selective about visiting such an attraction, seeing as there is a limited concentration on the conservation part, if they knew about these factors?
Yes, I think so, definitely, yeah. You know, we're seeing there's evidence of the decline within the animal-based visitor attractions because people's concerns. And this is something that these organisations, no matter whether they're public or they're private, should be trying to contradict and trying to say, no, it's okay, we're doing this to help, to attract more people to them. It shouldn't just be that entertainment factor, it should be all 3 working in sync with each other.
Okay.
Wonderful. Emily, of course, your presentation has been very, very well done and a lot of information. And I think this topic is extremely close to your heart because you've just gone to the depth of both of them. And in fact, we are really, very, very immensely pleased to see the kind of work you have actually put in. Very nicely done. And I would also be requesting Dr. Kavita Reddy, who is here in the panel with us, in case if she has any questions. Kavita ma'am, are you here? Trust she has some network issues.
I think she needs to unmute.
Great. I trust she has some network issues, but anything else, Rupa ma'am, that you would like to put?
I don't have anything else. I think it's a very interesting study. But if it could be extended, I think what we'll see in the next few years will actually, because everybody's so interested in sustainability, it's so important for not just the future of our next generation, but all the generations to come, really. The factors that you've studied should have a huge impact if we can kind of take them further and do more detailed studies with that. Thank you very much. It was very, very interesting.
Right. Thank you so much, Rupa ma'am. And Emily, yes, we do have Dr. Kavita Reddy. Kavita ma'am, over to you for any questions.
Sorry, I had a network glitch, so I couldn't connect before. I just have one question, Emily. Would things like small petting zoos and all would work better? What do you think?
Sorry, say that again. Would it work better?
Yes, you're back now, Kavita ma'am.
Yeah. Would things like small petting zoos would work better?
Of course, you know, all the different animal-based visitor attractions that they have, no matter whether they're the private or the public organization, I think they should all be looking to explain more on the justification behind it. And that, you know, the laws state that they should have something based around the conservation efforts. And so they're there, but they should promote them. That's what they should be promoting. It should be the ways in which they're helping, not just the ticket sales and the making the profit.
Thank you. And it was very interesting. Not
Lovely.
many people focus on such work. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kavita ma'am. Emily, thank you so much for your work, for your presentation. And of course, all of us wish you the very best. And we shall be keeping you informed on this.
Lovely. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much
for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Emily. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye. Thank you so much, Professor Graham, for joining us as well. Thank you. And of course, now, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to the next country, and that would be the country of Kenya. And we can see the mentor of Kenya joined us already. Over to you, of course, for the presentation ceremony right now. Could we have Sislin Amake?
Ma'am, I've sent a request for turning on the video.
Yes, yes, Piyush, thank you so much. We're just waiting for Kenya team to come in, ladies and gentlemen, and I really hope that all of you are liking the presentations. It has been, of course, a very informative afternoon. This is the first of its kind, and definitely the first wing, the first time we have in fact introduced the wing of research in YCO, in the 8th edition of YCO. And I think there has been some amazing work which has been put in, a lot of research, a lot of, you can say, a lot of information which has in fact kind of come in, a lot of support which has come in from the teams. And everything is in fact very close to everybody's heart, because sustainability is something which we all work on extremely closely. And this kind of researchers would definitely be going ahead and making a lot of difference to potentially our planet and all of us as a
And I think the issues which have been discussed today are so diverse. It shows just how important our concentration on sustainability actually is, and how we should really take it more seriously, as I said, for future generations to come.
Absolutely, ma'am. And now we are looking forward to have Kenya join in. In case if Kenya can hear us, we would love to have your presentation. All right. By the time Kenya comes in, I can also see the Nepal team here. In case if Nepal is ready, we would love to have your presentation once again, as we had promised you. Shifman is here.
Thank you, and I believe now this time you're able to hear me loud and clear.
That is right. All the very best to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Let me share my screen. I hope it's visible to everyone.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So I would like to start with once a famous naturalist said that survival of the fittest, theory of evolution, and his name was Charles S. Darwin. Our presentation or the research paper that I worked on is quality education as our UN SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. And when we're talking about the development and it has to be sustainable, we're talking about kids and the generations, the 3 to 4 generations which are into the loop itself. Our thing when we worked around this, how to improve young minds by involving innovative educational methods, on which I took my friend along with me, Saket Das. He's, just to let you know, you're an ex-IIHM person. So why we chose this topic as a whole? Because when you're talking about quality education, education is a fundamental right. It is a right for everyone. Our thing when we are speaking about, we need to understand that there's a generational gap that has come because the way the technology has advanced. And you and us together at YCU, we have seen that how surprisingly this technology only brought us together. From the starting of the COVID times till now, when we are with ease, we are doing all the competition and without any glitches. Small, wonderful glitches happen that we can take care of every now and then. So that's the reason that brought us together, because when I was thinking about this quality education, I came to know that we are just treating our kids or the students like that game of memory. You memorize the book, and we were making great employees rather than leaders. If a person wants to be successful in life, they have to first start thinking about how to be a self-leader. And we were just hauling out the employees, and for that we have to first understand how we can turn this around. It's a long process, it's a tedious process, but we can work all together. First of all, we have to start working on the overhauling of whole of the system by putting in the efforts from various different sectors, and smoothly we can bring it up. Just to let you know, a lot of educational institutions, including you and us, we have started taking the first step itself, that we try to bring the research work as part of the curriculum itself. New framework bringing new ways of teaching, or rather than I'll say sharing, because at the end we are educators, we are trainers. We need to make their mind limitless rather than limited, because with a limited thing we only can say A for apple. Okay, because I've tried hundreds of times with all the students. Whenever in the classroom I said A for, they said apple. This is the framework on which I started working on. Now, to speak just a brief more on the topic that how we work together, I would like to just put my friend for a couple of minutes so he can just let you know about it. So I'll conclude afterwards. Just a moment. More on to you, Saket.
Thank you, Shafman. So taking forward to this research, I will be explaining about what are the points we have covered in this research project. So talking about the 5 aspects we have covered in this research project. The first, we'll talk about providing the basic education that has been given to the junior high school students, like implementing the soft skills to the junior high students. So in talking about the soft skills, so where to begin? So first we have to begin with the integrity. Like we need to encourage our students to work as a team. So building a team spirit in a very early stage of the life will help them to become a good team player, and also in later stage they can become a good leader. Secondly, the communications. The communications plays a very important role in this present scenario. So many people are very scared and skeptical to speak in public. So public speaking skills need to be improved, and also with that, the other communication skills like group discussions, communication one-on-one, this kind of soft skills also need to be improved in the early stage of life. After that, courtesy. Courtesy is a very important role. So you must have seen the teenagers of this time. They are a little bit rude when it comes to respecting the elders. So you must have seen in Delhi or in many metropolitan cities that if there is a fight on road, so the teenagers start abusing the elders, even thinking about their age and thinking about their positions. They just to be very rude when it comes to respecting the elders. So courtesy, making them courteous, and in that process we need to implement like field trips in the old age homes or field trips in orphanage, etc. So this kind of things, this kind of activity will also bring a courteous nature to the students. Then sense of responsibility. It is very important as you will be working in the professional life. The sense of responsibility is very important to make your career success, and also in the personal life. And if you want a success, you need to be a very responsible person. Then professionalism, sense of professionalism is very important. Like setting up the personality like being punctual or taking up extra work, extra initiative, sense of learning. This is very important as a professional. Now we talk about the next issue, the next point, next area where we assessing the student in finding the difference between hobby and interest. Now there is a very fine line between a hobby and interest. When we talk about hobby is basically it's a kind of interest where we do not have financial benefits. But when we come to the interest may create a financial benefit to the person who is pursuing their interest. Now, for example, if a person who have pursued engineering, but his interest in doing photography. So, if he pursue his interest, that is photography, he can also earn financially, he can be stable on that. Then we talk about not keeping the grading system as a scale to compare the potential of the students. So it's very important now when we grade the students, we grade in terms of marks. So why don't we create a system where we grade the students not on basis of marks but basis of their talent, on the basis of their potential, what they can do. Then making their brain limitless rather than limited to books. Now books, yes, of course, the books are the first source of information. But if we only just restrict our children or our students only to the books, their looking perspective of the whole world will be changed. They will be only restricted to the books. They will be not thinking out of the book. So thinking out of the box is also one of the points we need to take care of. And the last, we will talk about to keep with the pace of generation gap comparing to the changing technology. So it's very important, like this COVID has taught us very new concept, that is online classes, virtual classes. If we go back like 4 years ago, then these virtual classes were not that popular. But now, when the times are changing, we need to upgrade ourselves and be be compatible with the new technologies which is coming up. Sure, next slide please.
So I would like to thank Saikat for letting us know so much over on the thing. The main thing now is, I'm just putting it over on, just to conclude. There was a study that was done by a Norwegian person, it's written right there, and it was done in Denmark, and it was come to know that during this time, okay, the highest IQ level was in 90s, and afterwards it has dropped, it has decreased. And the thing was named as Flynn effect. The thing that has come, I just stop it out and conclude myself. We need to understand as the time is changing, we have to change ourselves accordingly. And the survival of the fittest and the theory of evolution is what we require right now. Because the pace we develop technology, at the end, technology is growing faster than us. And the generational gap is going wider and spreader. With that, I would like to conclude the study that we have done. Thank you very much. Any question on the floor? We'll be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you very, very much to both of you for your very hard work and definitely making the presentation this afternoon. And I'll be, in fact, inviting both Rupa ma'am and Dr. Kavita for any questions.
Chef, I would like to ask you, would it be better if these programs are introduced as part of school curriculum?
Yes,
what do you think?
We started with the basic itself, and we spoke about overhauling of everything. And the point, one of the points said that we have to start implementing it till junior high. People should study, they should know their passion, what they want, and afterwards, the parents, not the society. Like in Indian society, the base I've seen 20 years back, be doctors, be engineers, be CA, if you can be nothing. And that's the reason I became chef, because I wanted to be against my family. Free of choice, because they are doctors and engineers, they would have guided me. I would like a targeted missile. It's like, okay, you are engineer, now you do this, now you do that. So I just went haywire, and I'm happy now. And now they ask me recipes, they ask me how they can do things. And that is a free choice that my family came to know after a couple of years when I became like a terrorist for them. They said, okay, you do what you want. And that choice made me who I am now. And now the respect is everywhere. So yes, you're right, Ms. Kavita, that it has to be implemented from the junior high itself. Because by that time, they are not kids, they are teenagers. And they can change the society the way they want. And we cannot stop them. We should not, actually.
Hopefully, I think most schools have started doing it.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kavita.
Thank you, Chef, for the information that you've given us today. I think across the world, we can see now that teaching and learning and pedagogy has really changed or started to change from being from this rote learning that you have identified to more student-centered learning. And it is this investigation, independence within the child's mind that will make it more sustainable for them, and it will make their lives more interesting because they will be the learners, they will be the ones who are doing something which is interesting for them, that will take them forward. So as for society in general, I think that will make more people who are satisfied with their lives, who are happier with their lives, just as you are.
Yes, because I believe that still there's a huge chunk of population who are like not aware of this IT sector that much, if I can say so. Because both of us sitting here together, we are dealing with multiple cameras alone. For that, this Corona time, we made us ourselves thought. And then we are teaching the students, we are training them how they can use the same thing. How the internet is a boon, it's a vardhan, it's not a abhishap or what you say, it's not a curse. If you use it in the right way, you can do What do you want? I want to connect to my friend from Spain. I can do it within seconds. I want to learn Spanish. I want to learn Italian. I want to learn any language. There are sites like Duolingo. Go there, learn it. Be limitless. Don't be limited. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chef, for your presentation today. We send you our best wishes.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, and all the very best to you. And we shall be keeping you informed on the research. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, dear friends, we now have the Team Kenya. They have been waiting for a long time, and we really are hopeful of a great presentation from them. So, warm welcome to you, Team Kenya. We can see you now.
Thank you.
And best wishes to you for a great research.
Thank you very much.
All the very best for the presentation.
Can you see our presentation?
We can do that. Yes, we are able to see that.
Okay, thank you. My name is Koros Ruth. My colleague June Grace and I are here to represent Kenya and Boma International Hospitality College to give a presentation and summary of a review paper that we did labeled Disability Inclusion in the Hospitality Industry. We decided to tackle the second Sustainable Development Goal of the United Nations, which is reduced inequality. We decided on this topic because we felt like not enough people with disability or differently able people have been incorporated into the hospitality industry and the job industry at large. So a lot of research has been done on the matter, and we applied content analysis and analyzed the relevant sources, and which prompted us to come up with research questions that interrogated the following areas, which is disability inclusion in the hospitality industry, disability inclusion strategies by the hotel industry, and possible ways that we can enhance the disability inclusivity in the hospitality industry. So next we have a brief statistical review. According to the World Health Organization, 15% of the global population is said to be living with disability, which is about 1 billion people. And among the 15%, 80% of them are living in lower or middle income countries. Among the disabled people, around 15% of them are employed, which leaves a whopping 85% of them unemployed or without jobs, hence them living in poor conditions. In our region, Africa, it is estimated that 60 to 80 people in general, according to the LANG 2017, are living with disability. And in our country, Kenya, there is a survey by the Kenya National Survey of Persons with Disability, which shows that 24% of the people living with disability are employed, which still leaves a larger percentage of them without jobs. Here we can see the different examples of people living with disability. Like we have examples of the visually impaired, hearing impaired, neurodiversity, the mobility, people who are immobile, learning impaired people, and still we have a statistic that is really large, which says that there's an 80% unemployment rate among the people with the disability. So next we want to see about how how people of the globe have included disability into the industry. And mostly we're seeing the hospitality industry, and we have a few examples such as the Marriott International Hotels and Resorts, which have a Marriott Foundation that enhances the employment of youth with disability, trains them even, and it later gives them jobs. We have the Hyatt Hotels and Resorts, which has partnered with organizations such as Ability Expert, which is dedicated to raising awareness in the community about disability, helping them to empathize with the people with disability and be able to know how to incorporate them into their day-to-day activities. We have the Starwood Hotels Resorts, which have appraisals metrics for the departments meeting the diversity goals. You'll find the hotels that have a specific number or a percentage that should be diverse in their departments. And once they have met that, you see that some hotels have appraisals for that. Yes, I think my colleague June will continue from here.
Okay,
So I'll take you through the disability inclusion here in Kenya. On your left, you'll see we have Jacqueline Wambui, who actually works at the Palette Cafe. And you're able to see clearly, she has on her back, it's written, "I am deaf." So at this cafe, all the waiting staff are actually deaf. And we have found a way actually here in Kenya to include them in the workforce. We also have a barista there named Charlene Wamula. Yes, she works at Wama Restaurant here in Nairobi, Kenya, and she is also visually impaired, as well as she's also living with albinism. We now also get to move on to disability inclusion strategies that these hotels, like my colleague has mentioned, what they're doing, so that to be able to incorporate people living with disability and the differently abled persons. So one of the things that they're doing is actually establishing councils and launching projects to recruit, retrain, and hire people with disability, as Marriott's Foundation does. We also have developing disability goals to be met by each department that also Hyatt and Results does. We also have creating a workspace culture of embracing diversity, whereby the non-disabled personnel get to learn sign language they can easily be able to communicate with their disabled counterparts. We also have having structured training for non-disabled employees, where we have the Dialogue in the Dark, like business expos. I believe that is in Hamburg, Germany, and that helps some hotels take their personnel that are non-disabled to go and have an experience of what it feels like to be blind. We also have, we now move on to the benefits of actually having the differently able persons in the hospitality industry, whereby we get to see that the establishment that have embraced or they have embraced the differently able persons actually tend to have more satisfied customers. It also has helped enter the untapped market of the disabled, because the people who are differently able feel more comfortable to dine in areas that they have also included the differently able as their personnel. We also have increased and the ability that the hotels that have included the differently abled have the ability to interact with the different types of clients. So they are well equipped to be able to handle the different clientele that visits their establishments. We also have, it shows loyalty to diverse communities and also maximizes on the workforce talent, because the persons with disability actually have a record of being loyal to the establishments that take them up and actually employ them. And compared to the high turnover of staff that normal hotel establishments has, the persons with disability actually tend to stay and work on longer and be loyal to the organization. Then move on to possible ways of actually enhancing the persons with disability inclusions in hotels. What we can do actually to incorporate them more is that we can try and gain professional support from social work and NGOs on job training, coaching, and even placing assistance. Hotels could also consider providing incentives, motivate teams and individuals to meet the inclusion goals as per key performance indicators. I believe that's what Starwood Hotels and Resolve does. And then we also have incorporating sign language actually in the culinary curriculum. Here at BAHC, I think it would be something that would most likely take up so that we are able to interact well and integrate them well in our establishment. So in conclusion, different hotels are coming up with different strategies to enhance the inclusion of the differently abled persons, and we see that it is there. And we have what is called the Inclusive Futures, which is actually a UK aid program that runs for 6 years, and it is available, I believe, in different parts of the countries. We have it in Kenya, we have it in Bangladesh, we also have it in Nepal. And we believe that through such initiatives that actually cater to inclusivity of the differently abled, we'll be able to work well with each other. So therefore, this research aims to improve and promote the integration of the differently abled persons to the hospitality industry and break down the barriers and workplace barriers, as well as the stigma that is associated with the differently abled persons. So on your left there, you'll be able to see Chef Pascal, who's made his own standing chair, who's a chef.
he does not let disability keep him out of the kitchen. So that marks the end of our presentation. We now open the floor for any questions.
So I would just like to say that the presentation was very well researched, and it touched upon an issue that has not been brought to the forefront, very much, but really needed to be addressed. And I think you've done a very good job in addressing the issues, finding out. I would just like to ask you where you got the information from. Was it just from the website? Did you speak to people who are actually working in the hotels who are differently abled? Were they able to give you some feedback about what the hotel has in its guidelines and whether that is practiced in the hotel itself?
Personally, yes, we were able to interact with like the Wama restaurant. One of the managers actually is he's in charge of hiring the personnel at Wama restaurant, which caters to the disabled. So she was able to actually give us the information and told us like about what is the strategies, for example, that we have actually come up with, how they're being implemented and being applied in the hospitality industry. So the fact that Wama restaurant actually trains the persons with disability, and then after 3 months of training, they actually place them in the different hotel establishments here in Kenya. So we were able actually to do some interviews and talk to this hotel establishment.
Could I just ask, were you able to speak to the co-workers and what was their reaction to having somebody who was differently abled? Were they, did they make them feel part of the team? Did they feel included? Did you get any information on this?
Okay, so I think here, like for example, at our culinary school, we actually have one of our chefs is differently abled. So, and I believe from our interaction with her face to face and seeing how she even interacts with the rest of the students in class, that has been able, was a very good vivid like description of seeing how the differently able interact with the non-disabled people. So we actually have a very own right here in our culinary institute.
Okay, thank you. Very interesting.
Thank you so much, Rupa ma'am. Dr. Kavita,
I don't have a question actually, just a comment. It's not only interesting, but it's a very, very important research you've done. It's very valuable. And in my opinion, differently abled persons, we should not look at them like a burden. They are a resource themselves. That's a very important thing that all of us need to understand that. Great work. Thank you. And all the best.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, girls. I have to say that this was a beautiful presentation. I would like to basically be in complete tone with whatever Rupa ma'am and Dr. Kavita had to say. I think it's a subject which is extremely important, very, very special, and of course, close to our hearts. And the way both of you have gone ahead and done your entire source work, you've spoken to people, taken evidences, and I'm sure you're going to be working further on this and making a difference in the world of hospitality through this. This is humongous work. Congratulations. We really loved it, and all the very best for the results, definitely. And we're looking forward to a lot of other research work on the same field from your end in future as well. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Kavita, ma'am. And now we are moving towards the next research. And this is again from another country, which is Canada. I'm so happy to see Chef Flyne here. Very, very good morning to you, Chef.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Absolutely well. And firstly, I have to congratulate you and also tell you a big thank you for waking up so early. I think it's 6:15 a.m. there.
It is indeed. Yes. Yeah, it is. It's 6:15 and it's still dark outside. So
thank you so much, Chef. It's really wonderful to have you here.
Not a problem. My pleasure.
And of course, welcome to the research wing, and we definitely look forward to the presentation from your end, Chef.
All right. So my presentation is on food waste in Canada. I believe this is a huge issue at the moment, and what brought me to doing a research project on food waste was my daughter actually is going into environmental science, and I decided that I'd look into food waste in Canada, especially in restaurants and hotels and even households. The amount of food that people waste, even in their own homes, is outstanding. So I'll move on. Can everybody see my presentation? You can? Awesome. Yes. Awesome. Yes. So basically, the facts are 58% of all food produced in Canada is lost or wasted each year, right? This costs the Canadian economy $49 billion each year, all right? So again, each year then the food waste in Canada creates about 56.6 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. So everybody, all the countries are getting together to reduce their emissions and hopefully get a better world. Look, all the countries are trying to look after the world in their in their mandates and everything. So again, when we waste all this food and 56 million tons goes to the landfill sites, it produces methane gas, which is 25 times more damaging to the environment than carbon dioxide, right? The average cost, right? So it costs the average Canadian household $1,766 every year. So that's how much they waste every year on food. Which is it's outstanding. It just blows my mind that people are so negligent in their dealings. With the food, there's about 35.5 million tons of food produced in Canada, or of food produced in Canada, is lost or wasted every year. So, I mean, this is amazing. This is huge. So we need to start, teaching our children, whether they go to the grocery store or teaching them in the high schools or in colleges, use everything, right? Don't over order, don't over purchase. Make sure you use every little bit of food that you can, right? 32% of this amount of food amounts to 11 million tons can be rescued to support communities across Canada. So again, there's a huge surge in research going on here in Canada at the moment of feeding the homeless and making sure these gathering places and shelters for the homeless are able to get donations of food and able to feed then the homeless people or the less well off. So again, the weight of this food, I don't know if many of you realize, but the CN Tower in Toronto, in Ontario, Canada, is the tallest freestanding building in the world. And so the amount of this food is equivalent to the weight of, it's equivalent to the weight of 95 CN towers. So that's quite a lot of food that we're wasting. So food wastage in Canada causes 56.6 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions, or equivalent emissions, right? Up to 690 million people in the world today are hungry, while 3 3 billion people can't afford a healthy diet. So this is absolutely shocking. You know, this blew my mind, and we need to start really thinking about the food that we produce and how to use it efficiently. Supermarkets, grocery stores, they handle about 10% of all food waste in Canada, right? 45% of all food produced and fruit and vegetables produced are wasted. Canada loses up to 4.82 million tons of food in the manufacturing process. So the handling, how it's produced, again, we lose almost 5 million tons. Around 1.4 million Canadian children don't have access to healthy food. So they're eating unhealthy food basically, and which is not good for their growth and mental stability. Every day, each Canadian generates about 2.7 kilograms of garbage. So again, every day, and in Canada, there are 48 million people. So 48 times 2 is 96. 96. That's a lot of garbage every day. So again, we need to, I feel we need to, or the government needs to step in and start. Excuse me. It's early in the morning here. Start to do some studies and get the process rolling, right? So the Canadian government now has started to offer $10.8 million to innovators who will prevent food waste at any point, right? So the source is the pig site. The challenge was introduced in January 2021, and this features several steps that innovations have to take. Throughout each stage of the challenge, an external group of judges then will decide which applicant would move further to the next step, and then they would be provided funding. The winning innovation will win up to 1.5 million as a first prize. So this is a great start. Is it the best way? Well, I feel it's a start, and that's progress in my opinion. What made the whole project challenging was that the innovation should address all section emissions to meet climate targets. These include production, transportation, landfill disposal, food waste, and food loss. About $49.5 billion of Canadian food can be avoided by taking specific measures, right? So zero food waste initiatives revolve around several options on how to reduce food waste. These measures can eliminate food waste entirely. With no food waste, consumers and society at large will be able to save money, support efficiency in the food and agricultural sector, and improve food security and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, which is, one of my key points is that is big, especially with the climate change and every government contributing to change the greenhouse gas emissions over the next 5 to 10 years. Some other food waste statistics and future solutions. $2.4 billion of food waste can be avoided at the distribution level, Food waste happens at the distribution level, mainly because the products are not handled correctly. These are usually not stored at the right temperatures. Sometimes the shipments are delayed, which causes the product to reach the expiry date. Leftover distribution statistics in Canada show us that 5% or 55 million tons of food can be saved. This would be possible if distributors fix the problems they are currently facing. So again, there needs to be research and innovators then step into these distribution levels and, you know, offer solutions to these companies, and that way then they'll be, you know, hopefully then the problem will be fixed, right? So where do we go from here? The early leadership shown by both private and public sector organizations to conduct research, to develop tools and new approaches. They are beginning to engage companies in the food system and that provide a solid foundation for the next steps towards reducing Ontario's food loss and waste. They're also starting to educate you know, children in school and educate and make children in school aware. We've also introduced in our college in one of our courses where we talk about food waste, and so we're starting to educate the younger chefs, the younger up and coming young chefs that we're training at the moment. I think we need to investigate the regulatory barriers. So if there's any regulatory barriers, well, these need to be taken down, and you know, and that way then further progress can be made, right? Sector-specific education and guidance material need to be brought forward, need to be created and brought forward. I think it's a great opportunity for you know part of the government to get on board and work towards this reducing the food waste. So a full analysis of regulatory barriers that may contribute to the creation of food loss and waste has not been completed. This analysis would be strengthened through consideration of the economic and marketing system of Canada's food supply and the potential for these systems to influence food loss and waste. An analysis of current policy and identification of potential policy changes could be conducted collaboratively between relevant federal, provincial, and territorial governments. Again, trying to get all of these different governments working together, that's going to be a huge challenge, I feel. As we all know that, you know, different parts of the government sometimes don't like working together, and which is not great then for these proposals or analysis. And that concludes my presentation on food waste this morning. I'd like to open the floor to any questions anybody has.
Chef, thank you so much for such an amazing presentation, and definitely a topic which is very, very important for all of us. I would be, in fact, inviting Rupa ma'am and Kavita ma'am as well for the questions to you.
Chef, thank you so much for such an informative presentation where you have talked about the solutions, how the implementation strategies and procedures have already begun to address the phenomenon of food waste. And I think it's so important, as you said, that just to realize and make a start is in itself a good thing. So
it is indeed.
Yes, and you've actually told us that it's begun in schools, it's begun in colleges, within industries. So I think the comprehensive, it's kind of a holistic thing where everybody in every area will be able in some way to understand about food waste and how it can be controlled and what the solutions may be for that. So that
absolutely.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. Very, and I think then they will be able to put pressure on the government bodies, and that way then we can get things moving.
Yes. So, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef. Kavita ma'am, any questions from your end? I would need to unmute you. Yes, there you are.
Sorry. A very interesting presentation. You have given the number of 58%, and in India, it's, I think, around 45% wastage because of our lack of proper processing and storage facilities. I have just one question, not a question. I'm just curious. Did anybody get the $1.5 million for any idea?
I couldn't find out who got that information. I looked and researched, and I just couldn't find who they never announced it. So I don't even know if it actually did, but I just couldn't find who actually won the 1.5 million, who were the innovators. So I will keep on searching. So
yeah, we will also search for the on the side. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Best.
Thank you very much, Chef. Thank you very much for joining in, Chef, at this time.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much. Goodbye now.
Chef. Bye-bye. See you, Chef. Thank you very much for joining in.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the last leg of the presentation ceremony for the Research Award this evening from India. And I can also see the team Mexico has also joined in. Many, many congratulations to all of you, ma'am. And we look forward to the presentation from your end.
Okay, I want to ask you if I can share my screen.
Absolutely, you can. Yes, we are able to see. All the best.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Give me a minute. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, good morning to everybody. Still in the morning from us, 5:30 in the morning. So that I hope that we can share some information from us.
Chef, first of all, I would like to say a big thank you to you and the entire team for joining in so early. I mean, it's really fantastic. And, you know, we really love the passion, you know, and of course, the support that we have received from yourself. And we're extremely happy to have you here. Wishing you all the best for the presentation right now.
Thank you very much. And some information before my colleagues can present. We are looking in Mexico in our university to have different programs that can help us to make some changes, especially in Mexico and perhaps around the world. We are the first private university that has a private vineyard. We are looking to make some research in a couple of years about what's the importance of a vineyard, and to see if it is possible that other local farmers can use our information about it. We have now two kind of people who are working with us. One is our student, Miguel, sorry. He is one of our newest students. He is looking to help us in this research. And our enologist, Berenice, is making all the hard work in the vineyard. And after that, our researcher, Marisa, will start to look about the different research that we can do. Berenice, please. Can we have the audio for Miguel and Berenice?
Thank you very much. And I'd like to ask you with a microphone for Miguel Ramos, who is also with us.
Okay. Miguel, are you able to unmute? Yes. There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So I will let him to start with the presentation. Thank you, Alex.
Okay, so the idea of having a vineyard as a center of training courses for viticulture originated in 2012 in Universidad Anáhuac, Mexico, and arises from the interest of strengthening academic skills in enological knowledge, while at the same time promoting the idea of responsible consumption. The fact that the university incorporated a vineyard and winemaking facilities helps to consolidate an immersive teaching method based on competencies and to comprehensively strengthen subjects related to the wine area, allowing us to be pioneers in this type of teaching methods, while also involving local communities, wineries, and academics interested in collaborating to improve the standard of living in economically depressed wine regions. We also wanted to take advantage of this space to incorporate the values that the Universidad Anáhuac Mexico proposes and establish leadership that positively impacts these marginalized communities, thus creating a development in human factor and also educational fields. The need to create well-paid jobs in rural areas motivated us to start a pilot project focused on the development of a vineyard where students could learn to establish and manage a vineyard or a winery and run them as tourist attractions for the benefit of vulnerable populations. The concern of promoting the sustainable development of the country, as well as the possibility of replicating the model in other regions, give meaning to one of the most ambitious initiatives introduced by this university, aimed at transforming the social, economic, and ecological reality of rural Mexico through the formal education of students and the training of disadvantaged communities, creating a gastronomic, cultural, and demographic growth that can lead them to overcome the lack of opportunities and construct a sense of pride, respect, and interest regarding enology and their involvement in wine production.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I had an issue. Okay. I'm going to continue by, after what we listened from Miguel, I want to show you how is our model going to work. Our training Anáhuac vineyard model is based on a basic training for our students at the vineyard about viticulture and winemaking practices. What we want to teach them is how to make wine, how to work in the field, to grow the vines, and to learn about pests and diseases. And once they have that knowledge, what they are going to do is to show their acquired knowledge by training interested community people. We want to share that knowledge with the local people. And after that, we are going to evaluate the people for this community because we want to let them show us what they learned. And that will be the way that we are going to see if we are doing it well. What we want is that to teach about wine and to let the people to, how can I say, to be very proud about their wine region and to learn and to, they need to feel that they are living in a wine region and that they have that knowledge. That's the interest that we have in this research. And I think that that's what we are, what we want to present.
Thank you very much. It was a very interesting and something which is quite innovative also that we have heard from you today. I have a couple of things. What you said, that the most interesting part is that not only do you want to train students, but you want to take it in the community, which is increasing the knowledge, the economy, and also the culture, the legacy which is there from, from the cultural aspect. What parameters will you be studying? And how will you be measuring these parameters within the next few years to see whether you can actually build or improve these conditions within the community, the local community?
What we are going to do, and our research center at the university, is to follow how many jobs that they can get in our wine region if they have the knowledge by evaluations, written evaluations and practical evaluations. And we don't want them to go to other countries as we used to do in Mexico to find jobs, especially in this area, because our production of wine in Mexico is not compared with that they have at the United States or Spain or Argentina or Chile. So what we want is the people to be interested about working in Mexico, to stay in Mexico, and we want to develop jobs for them and to develop this interested in our wine region and to feel proud about it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rupa ma'am. I have to say that this is a very, very thoughtful research. And, as sustainability is the most important intent as to why we are all here, this has been basically reflected very beautifully in your presentation today. Very different and definitely very, very remarkable and thoughtful from all of you. So congratulations. So Dr. Kavita, you're here. Ma'am, we would want you to basically ask some questions or give your insight towards this.
Thank you, Sanchari. Apart from winemaking, do you have any other ideas to work on this type of development of the community?
Beside winemaking and viticulture practices, we want to help this community by developing schools and to help them. It is a small community, but we are looking for the replicability of this project in other wine regions in Mexico and abroad.
And all your students are involved in this project?
Yes.
Very nice.
The idea is that each semester, all our students that take the classes of winemaking, they understand and they go to the vineyard and are working on the vineyard.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kavita ma'am. Many, many congratulations to the entire team Mexico. And thank you so much for waking up so early in the morning and, getting ready for this very, very amazing presentation. There's a lot of learning we've had from this.
Yes, absolutely.
And of course, Rupa ma'am, I think there has been some remarkable insights into the presentations today. So many congratulations, Team Mexico, from our end. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a research team of YCO, and we are so happy to have you here. We're really sure that each one of you who has been an audience this evening has taken a lot from this, a lot of information, a lot of insight, and definitely depth in sustainability. So we would like to basically go ahead and definitely say a huge thank you to all the countries who have submitted their research work and definitely made a presentation today. And we shall be keeping you informed on this very, very soon. And at this moment, definitely from the studio, we would like to basically bid adieu and thank each one of you for joining us. And definitely all the very best for tomorrow. And Dr. Kavita, thank you so much, ma'am, for being here with us today, for taking your time out. It has been a great team, bonding as well, and a lot of exchange of ideas between ourselves. And we're looking forward for some great insights into research work for YCO this year.
Thank you. Thank you. It was so interesting to hear so many perspectives from so many countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, Rupa ma'am, for leading this and taking this ahead with all of us here. I would like to also give a huge thank you to all the spokes, the country spokes from IIHM who has been there and definitely has been coordinating with all the teams for bringing this together today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and have a great evening ahead.